All right. So that should be working. So this is going to be episode number 3, I think, or maybe it's 4. I think it's 4. So yeah, I mean, I've been out of this loop for a little while, but I'm back at it again. Uh, so yeah. Let's see. Today we're gonna be reading chapters 251 to 350. Or honestly, this is going to be sort of a marathon. I'm gonna see how long I can keep doing this. I'll be taking breaks if I need them this time. That's going to be different. I already ate, so I also don't expect to take any long breaks, but maybe 5 minutes breaks. So yeah, that's what's going to be different this time. Let's see. It has been a while. Last time I had to cut things short a little bit because I was a little bit under the weather, but this time I shouldn't be. So, all right. So continuing with the job that I'm doing, just for anybody that caught up or something, I'm basically sort of recollecting every single attack in One Piece. Well, almost every single attack in One Piece, and then I'm gonna rate it into power scalar terms. This is a good way to sort of see how the series has increased its power levels, and also it's just kind of fun, I guess. I want to work with power scaling videos for One Piece. I'm thinking of maybe eventually doing power scaling videos for Hunter x Hunter because I think that's also a really fun series to power scale. But currently, right now, I'm doing One Piece. I want to finish with the current thing that I'm doing. It's gonna take a while because One Piece, as we know, has a lot of chapters, 1,000 chapters plus some more, and yeah, that's gonna take a while. Let's see. The main thing here, I'm just gonna be chatting on stuff that I remember and stuff that I like or that I want to point out. And then after, if there's time or if there's energy after all this, I'll do power scaling of Zoro versus Sanji in stats. I'm gonna get into deep on that. So yeah, I mean, I'll get into that. I'll do that properly. But that's only if I get energy because this is gonna be a long stream probably. So just that's kind of it. So yeah, currently I'm reading chapter 251. Right now, what I'm seeing is Chopper is looking out for the old man, Ganfall, and he's sort of trying to decipher what's going on. And honestly, the panels here in Skypiea look really, really good. Which, yeah, old One Piece art was pretty good. Too bad, I mean, age catches up to everybody, so, I mean, like, I guess if Oda just let the series go a little more, if he wasn't such a perfectionist, maybe he would be able to keep up with this quality by having some incredible assistants and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's Oda's choice or whatever, and it's his work. So he is the one that ultimately gets to decide how his work is made, and he has control of it. And I think honestly the problem with a lot of other artistic things done is probably the lack of control. So if anything, I think it's probably good that Oda is doing whatever he wants, because you can see it like in let's say in big productions or in things that are very very big, and how there's this lack of control, there's this lack of sort of like cohesiveness. Let me just see how that word is pronounced just for a little bit, because I constantly forget how this is supposed to be pronounced. So I think it's probably cohesiveness, but so
Cohesiveness.
cohesiveness. So yeah, it's that. Okay, all right. So that's kind of it. Honestly, I mean, uh, again, it's probably good because what happens when authors do not have enough control, what you see is this loose or this lack of identity that eventually happens. It doesn't happen all the time, and it also doesn't mean that everything that's like big automatically is bad. Like, you know, things can be done in groups and still be great. You can just look at a SpongeBob season one, season two, and season three. Or I don't know what else is done like in big groups and turns out all right. Something that has lost its showrunner and still produces quality. Uh, I mean, probably The Simpsons seasons 1 through 9 or something like that. Probably. I mean, at some point, Matt Groening left the show, and the show was still good. So I mean, like, again, ensemble writing can work. It's just you run into the possibility of maybe fucking it up, maybe not being that good. Maybe, you know, not all the time, but definitely I think it happens more often than not when the main author of this leaves. Uh, but yeah, now let's see this thing here very quickly. So here, what happens is that Kalgara throws a bazooka at Luffy. All right. So Kalgara throws a bazooka at Luffy, or a bazooka shot, or whatever. And then Luffy does balloon to deflect it. And it's good enough to sort of land on Kalgara. But obviously Kalgara is just too fast, so he dodges it. If I remember correctly, yeah, he dodges it. They have no time. Yeah. All right, and they sort of buy match, but this fight is never gonna happen. But it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat that we were teased with this possible interaction. You know, Kalgara versus Luffy would be a fun battle. I think Kalgara ultimately loses, but yeah, I mean Kalgara seems strong enough to have a good fight. All right, so here we have some bite scale in here. Is it good enough? No, I think I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna skip this. So just eliminates these guys. Um, Gedatsu eliminates these guys as well. Yeah. And then I forgot this guy's name. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Kagara fights Gedatsu for a little bit. Doesn't do enough damage, honestly. Not good enough to scale. So who cares? Alright, so let's see. They fry some fish and they're up. They go for gold. That's good. Honestly, the other thing about Skype is probably the one that feel the most like a pirate adventure. Like this feel like if you just remove the elements of this being an island in the sky, and yeah, that's kind of it. You can just see as a bunch of pirates arrive in an island. The island is in the middle of a war, and they're just gonna steal the gold while everybody else is distracted. Obviously, the story doesn't stick to this. It goes into something deeper when L comes into the scene, but you know, it's fun. I mean, at this point, that's the vibe that Skypiea has. It's like people are fighting, but the Straw Hats don't care about that because they are just trying to get some gold. So yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's see. Here's the campfire. Everybody's just having fun. Robin's learning to live a little bit, and yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Nothing really important happens here. All right. So now 254, chapter 250. This sick ass cover. Oh man, this cover is so good. I need to use. This cover is so good. I love it. They used this for the anime, if I remember correctly. What a good choice, because What a sick ass cover. It looks really good. Anyways, okay, all right. So they keep moving, they keep moving, they keep moving. I gotta remember to eventually get a One Piece art book. I need to get one of those. I really do hope that at the end of the whole thing, they release like a One Piece art book, just like all those covers. That's it. Just all the drawing stuff. I know there's already color walks, which I'm going to get eventually, but honestly, I kind of want just more covers from Oda. Honestly. I just never have enough of this. So, anyways, that's it. They keep going. They keep going. They keep going. Comes into the scene. Gedatsu comes into the scene. Jama comes into the scene. Nobody's doing that much, and it comes into the scene, and also nothing much is happening again. All right, so continue. All right. Okay. So this is chapter 255, the search team, and we split up. All right. Ganfall is giving us the Eneru lore. All right. All right. Ah. Well, this is interesting because the snake has poison. So that would be worth scaling. But, I'm gonna pass. It's not good enough. Let's see. This is just a mobility feat. Chopper and Zoro and Luffy all get split up. Alright. Nothing much is going on here. That's a nice drawing of a monkey. Anyways, we keep going out here. We're getting some backstory with Kalgara. With Wiper. I've been calling him Kalgara. It's Wiper. Anyway, so Wiper keeps on going here. Shura comes in here. It's a trial of the string. Alright. And we're about to get a reject. We're going to get a rejectile here. First use of rejectile. Honestly, one-shotting Shura. Just outright one-shotting him. Pretty good. And not just one-shotting him like, oh, he's unconscious for a little while. No, he was down. He was legit down. There was nothing picking this man up. He was down. We haven't seen him since. Let's remember, we know Gedatsu survived a 10,000 meter fall, so these guys are built different, right? So Gedatsu survived that shit. Had to be beaten by Zoro, so pretty good on And then what was the fat one called? I just saw. I just read that a while ago. The fat one was beaten by Sanji, right? Also in one hit, I think, which is pretty impressive for Sanji. And then here is Shura taking this hit, and we're never gonna see him again. So, he probably dies from this. I'm gonna be honest. The fat guy probably also died. Oh, I don't know if Om's dead. Maybe he's dead. Maybe. Anyways, so honestly, just Gedatsu survived this. It's kind of crazy. The only person we know for sure survived is Gedatsu. And that one was the one that supposedly took the most damage. But anyways. Okay, so the Impacto that here, we're seeing the power of this. So, okay, so this is gonna help us to scale the dials, right? So here we have Sanji with a hammer, a big hammer. Let's say it's a 50 kilogram hammer. I really don't know how heavy this thing is, but let's just say it's 50 kilograms for the sake of it. And this is Sanji on top of that. So Sanji is using this force into a hammer. Okay, so he's putting in the force. the impact dial is strong enough to resist this damage, which honestly kind of not that surprising if we're honest. I mean, like this thing has been doing a lot of damage to tough characters, so you know the impact dial should at least be able to absorb this, and then it rejects it. All right, all right, I messed up on this. And then you're able to sort of reject the damage. I mean, you can sort of return the damage. Reject is actually the other attack. I forgot. So you just return this damage. And yeah, it has enough to recall to sort of damage Sanji a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of it. So that just happens. And let's see what else. All right, flame dials. Right. The 50 Heavenly Warriors of Skype, yeah, all folderless. I mean, all folder. No feats. Who cares? So yeah, they go. They fight some guys. They hit them with impact. With impact dials. Oh yeah, this is the guy that uses the slashing thing instead of impact. What was it called again? I forgot the name of that. I think it's set up here just a little bit. So it's pretty good. I mean, it destroyed a shield. It's an axe dial. Okay, so this guy would actually be Zoro's worst nightmare because he can just absorb all the slashes. So a guy covering these dials could theoretically sort of be a hard counter for Zoro, theoretically speaking. Yeah. So there is that. I mean, obviously, I mean at that point, just stop using his slashes. Just give up. But yeah. Let's see. Then I think it's that same monk. He comes in. He sees Luffy. He tries to jump in. Obviously, that doesn't work at all. He ends up pretty badly. But then again, he messed up. He really should have just learned the picking order. He has mantra, honestly. He should have known that Luffy was just stronger than him altogether. But I mean, like, I guess. I guess they're just idiots. Cause I mean, like, if as far as we know, people like Blackbeard can sense the level of haki that somebody has. So I don't really know why these monks just do not have the ability to sense how strong Luffy is. But all right, like, I mean, even if they are useless as sort of observation haki users, even if they're the worst at it, I expect them to at least sort of notice this sort of wild beast power coming from Luffy, maybe. But apparently not. Apparently they just suck completely. They just have the bare minimum of observation haki, which is just tracking people apparently, and then sensing the power levels is kind of a little bit more advanced apparently. Anyway, so here comes another heavenly warrior. The heavenly warrior thinks he's big shit. He's gonna get destroyed by Robin, obviously, because you really shouldn't be destroying monuments. That just shouldn't be something you do. Uh, obviously, unless you have permission, unless you have like you work for the city council or something, and then boom, you can destroy it. But I think talking about just very quickly about conservation of the past and stuff like that, you can obviously destroy all structures and stuff like that, and all monuments and all things or whatever. You can do that after you have allowed exactly people like Robin, archaeologists or historians, to analyze it, to sort of save it, to photograph it, to keep a sort of copy, a sort of record that something like that existed, and then you can destroy it. That's the thing, because like ultimately, I mean, like, keeping something forever just because it was made in the past kind of doesn't make any sense. Uh, you have to have a reason to sort of preserve it, right? I'm talking about something like in the far of future. Like let's assume that humanity has already used all the space in the Earth. So you have to make this question of like, why? What do we do? Do we keep this city as a museum, or do we destroy it and then create sort of like some suburban departments or something like that? And I think like obviously you should create the suburban departments ultimately after you have sort of preserve everything, after you have sent in sort of like a person to record things and to analyze it and to keep it in pristine conditions and stuff like that. Not really. I'm not really that in love with the past, but I do think that the past should never be forgotten. That is to say, you should always try to catalog and remember things, remember the art that was made and stuff like that. To put it simple like this, I would say like this: like if the Mona Lisa ever gets destroyed, I won't shed a tear because of that. I will not care about that. But if the Mona Lisa gets destroyed and then people try to destroy the records of it ever existing, that's my issue. That's the problem for me. I think things should be sort of recorded, and we should be able to remember them, to have sort of a catalog where to remember all the things that were in the past, because the past is important, but I don't think that the past is the most important. I think it's important, and I think it should be recorded, but I don't think it's as important as to sort of like have it above everything else or something. uh okay, so yeah, that's kind of it. Let's remember a little bit more here. What's going on? So Zoro is about to fight this guy here with the guns. So this is a good show of how Zoro would fight a similar level gunfighter. And what we see is that Zoro will be dodging a lot, really, really a lot. The gun user, apparently, if it's a good gun user, would try to sort of blind the opponent. Um, so yeah. Oh no, no. Specifically, this guy has a flashing pistol. Has a pistol that can create light. So that's why he can use this technique. Somebody that doesn't have this specific technology, he would be on a bad situation. But all right. So then that person tries to connect this hit that he eventually lands. It's a punch. It's a kick to the gut. So I think he was thinking he could knock out Zoro with this. And honestly, I don't really know how big to scale this because like earlier the Straw Hats took damage from something like this, and they just sort of walked it off. But who knows? Who knows if it's that big of a deal or not? Anyways. Zoro wasn't taking him seriously. Apparently, by his own admission, he wasn't going all out, and now he's going to go all out. And oh, that's a good panel. I like this panel. Ooh, that's a good ass panel. I was gonna give you guys a screenshot of this because I like it, but again, this is not gonna be really useful. It's gonna be here on the old poster, so you have to look at it. So you just have to go and see it. Go and see the page. But it's a good panel. I like it. I like when they use this effect of like it's moving so fast, it's doing after images and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So Zoro is impressed by the fact that he goes so fast, so quickly, which again, it's probably something to remember that One Piece characters can get a speed. Acceleration is a thing in One Piece. People can have sort of like the regular movement speed and then an acceleration movement speed that might be or might not be useful for when I scale Sanji. But yeah, I mean, like Zoro's impressed by the speed that this guy has off the rip. Like he lost this without running. He obviously has tech, which Zoro is probably just too dumb to to think too much about. Oh no, no, he's figuring it out. He's figuring it out. I misjudged Zoro. He's figuring it out. Uh, he connected it with the waiver technology that he already knows from Nemi's team. So yeah, he's using that to float. He's using that to move himself, and then here he comes. So He tries to do a tiger trap here. It's not gonna work. But I'm gonna grab this tiger trap because this tiger trap is important for the scaling that I'm gonna do later. So I mean, obviously, I think the most important thing when doing this scaling thing of scaling every single attack in One Piece, the important thing here is going to be uh, relying on sort of old attacks that we already know and trying to gosh, gouge. Let me see. Let me see. Ah, no. Gauge. Yeah. So trying to gauge how effective or how much they grow from arc to arc. So yeah, this is a tiger trap. If I remember correctly, Zoro used tiger trap versus Mihawk, was ineffective. So this tiger trap should be stronger than the one that he used against Mihawk. At this point, this tiger trap should be stronger. Specifically because after Arabasta, I think you can make an argument that everybody got a little bit stronger, like for real this time. Like before that, like pretty much they weren't pushed to their limits. Like East Blue was sort of easy mode for everybody in the monster trio, so nobody was pushed too much. But in Arabasta, when they really went down to the wire, I think that's a fair point to say that they got stronger after that. The other point they got stronger at is obviously also Water Seven slash Anis Lobby. Although in regards to the monster trio, they got stronger before because of their encounter with Aokiji, and they just didn't use their extra powers versus. In fact, they were sort of nerfed versus the CP9 and Water Seven because, well, this is giving too much spoilers. I'm gonna be talking about this when we get to Water Seven, so let's just not go there yet. So, okay. Uh, so here comes this guy. This is the first guy that uses Milky Dial this way. He uses it to create a path. Uh, and then he tries to combo Zoro into the fish, which really smart. Not gonna work, but real smart. Would that shot have killed Zoro if it had landed? Maybe. Big maybe. Possibly. I mean, like in general, shots. I mean, fire guns really do. I mean, just guns in general really do work on people except Luffy. So yeah, I mean, like, but I guess this is just still just a gun. So it's like it doesn't matter. It's still just a gun. Okay, so yeah, this naming is wrong. I'm gonna have to change it because yeah, I messed up. This is not 298. This is 259. And same thing for this is not 298. This is 259. That was the worst way to rename it. But anyways. Okay. All right. So yeah. This guy uses slashing pistols again. Here's Zoro trying to bluff mid battle because he was being pushed real hard by the flashing guns. Uh, and yeah, let's see. He jumps. Let's see how big is this jump. Apparently too big. Apparently it's just too big of a jump. I really don't know how. Oh no, I get it, I get it. He's getting damage from the wound that he got. Right. So actually, I almost missed this. So he does manage to land a hit on Zoro, and it's on the leg. So he has this leg nerf for the rest of the fight, because honestly he then just recovers and it's in perfect condition versus Enel. But uh, he got a he got a little bit of damage, enough to sort of hurt him a little bit on the fallback, and then he just runs away. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, and intuition. Man has six senses, and each of these can be good, bad, or neutral. Furthermore, each of those can be pure or impure. In a lifetime, there are 36 earthly desires. Right now, I have a cannon aimed right at you. You are a pistol, I am a cannon. In timing and power, my weapon will well. You did well, but now you die. Alright. You are a cannon, are you mad? I don't see a cannon. Have you ever seen a flying slash attack? 36. It's also 36 pound phoenix. Right. So here Zoro, the non-religious man, just redacted out of the Buddhist book or something, and he came up with a power up for himself. Right now, he just got himself a power up out of nothing, out of thin air. He just sort of decided to have flying slashes, and he got it. So yeah, that's it. He beats the guy, he grabs his bag, and he leaves. And now we're about to see probably one of my favorite fights in Skypiea, which is Chopper vs Gedatsu. I like it. It's a good Chopper fight, and it's fun, and that's kind of it. Not a lot more going on here. Anyway, oh, did I miss? All right. Okay, so I missed something. So here's Enel basically taking care of Sanji somehow. I don't know if I skipped something, but this should be enough to sort of scale it. He one-shot at Sanji, so let's just remember that very quickly because this is important. Sanji one-shotted the guy, the fat guy, and then Enel one-shotted Sanji in return, right here. Alright, and then he's about to one-shot Usopp right here. Yeah, he's one-shooting Usopp right here. Again, this is the same Usopp that we saw tank a lot of things back in Alabasta. He tanked a lot of damage back in Alabasta. So, this is just making him look good. He looks good as hell by doing this. He is solidifying his place as somebody way above Miss Merry Christmas. Way above. So if you're way above Miss Merry Christmas, that means you're way above Mr. 3. That means you're above Mr. 2. And no, in fact, he one-shotted Sanji as well. But, with a stronger attack probably. So, let's say he's way above Mr. 2 by one-shotting Sanji. That's true. That means he's above Mr. 1. Possibly even way above, probably, logically he should be. Is he way above Crocodile? That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, his technique is very powerful in itself. Lightning is just really good at knocking people out or killing them. But it's just that his power is just so explosive. But Enel versus Crocodile, that would be an interesting fight. I mean, certainly, because they sort of cannot do anything to each other. I guess Enel could turn Crocodile into glass. I guess. Even then, that's iffy at best. I don't know. But stat wise, is Enel even stronger than Crocodile stat wise? I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess the speed wise. Maybe, yeah. Speed wise would make sense, I guess. He was kind of going around Luffy pretty well. He only really lost in quotations marks, as he didn't really lost if we're being serious about here. But the only reason that he lost is that he sort of had a direct clash with Luffy. I don't know. We're about to see. I'm looking forward to seeing that discussion. It's gonna be fun, because I'm gonna have to get into that if Enel's stronger than Crocodile or not. I'm gonna have to get into that eventually, Crocodile also very easily dealt with Mister Three. So again, in regards to sort of one shotting people, yeah, he really doesn't have any problem. I mean, like Crocodile, let's be honest, he also one shotted Luffy in the desert. So again, one shotting Usopp and one shotting Sanji here, not that impressive in comparison to Crocodile. Kind of equal, kind of relative portrayal, if we're honest. So yeah, and this is me obviously wanking Sanji and saying that Sanji is as strong as Luffy's first fight, as Luffy was in his first fight versus Crocodile, which was the fight in the desert. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to get to that eventually. But yeah, we'll get to that eventually. So let's see. So Enel leaves. Honestly, he kind of just leaves. And here we have again the same interaction. Wiper uses the bazooka. Luffy uses the balloon. Again, this sort of repeats. Anyways, Wiper's not happy about this fight, but he's still going for some reason. He really has no reason to do this. He really should just leave. But whatever. He goes in, he loads his bazooka, he's about to make a shot, and then. Oh, no. That's a smell trail. Right. Alright, because that's a burn bazooka. Yeah. He had a very good plan. Wiper had a very good plan. You know, if Enel was anything else that wasn't a lighting Logia, he had a very good chance of doing something, right? Because we know that a strong enough fire can burn the fire paramecia. Fire is probably the thing that will turn sand into glass like immediately. Um, I mean, I guess probably won't work against Akainu, but the main thing is like if Enel didn't have a Logia, if he had something else, Wiper would have had a chance maybe. Then again, he could have had the dragon fruit, and then that would have been just horrible for Wiper as well. Fire is not gonna be doing much against the dragon, so I don't know. Wiper just had a bad luck, because it wasn't that bad of a plan. It was kind of good enough to beat a strong guy, but Enel wasn't just any kind of strong guy. Anyways, so here comes this a Wiper kick. Wiper kick, everybody. So this should scale above whatever the other guy did. I forget his name. I kind of want to see his name because I kind of want to know. So I'm just gonna go look his name up because I kind of want to. So let's see. So Wiper comes in here. It's Shandians. Let's see. It's the Shandians. Surprisingly, not that many. Braham, right? So it's Braham. It's Braham. Okay, so Braham is the guy that fought Zoro just one or two chapters ago. Braham's kick is obviously weaker than Wiper's kick. So yeah, there's just that. Guys, that's kind of it. Braham has a kick and it's probably weaker than Wiper's. No likelihood it is weaker than Wiper by a very good margin. So yeah. Then Luffy tries to do a pistol, and then Wiper does something really cool that not a lot of fighters do, but Wiper did it, which is he knows that Luffy's power is gum, and he knows that obviously the more he stretches, the stronger it is. So, or he knows that he's going to try to stretch, so he sort of intercepts the attack midway. And yeah, I mean it's a neat trick. kind of exposes him. It's kind of the same thing that Virgo was doing versus Smoker when they fought. So there is that. All right. Sends him flying. Doesn't do a lot of damage. That's the thing. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is successful in kicking him out of the way. And then we have a Stamp Clash. So this is kind of just putting Wiper's kicking strength similar to Luffy's Stamp strength. Again, it would be impressive if not for the fact that obviously Luffy has a stronger sting in his arsenal than Stamp. Plus, I mean, there's also different kind of stamps. This stamp is not at the same sort of level of intensity as the stamp that he used. Was it in Enies Lobby? No, not in Enies Lobby. Let's see. I think it was in Arlong Park. I'm pretty sure it was Arlong Park and was, uh, you know, Gum Gum Stamp. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Luffy used Gum Gum Stamp versus Arlong. So what I think here is that the stamp that he used versus Arlong was more intense. Was he sort of used more power than his regular stamp. Now, obviously, power creep has happened at this point, so you could argue that this stamp is at the same level as the stamp that he used versus Arlong. So this is a one shotting. No. He didn't one shot Arlong with a stamp, but you know, it's a pretty strong stamp probably in comparison to how it was at the beginning. Uh, and then they kind of just clash evenly with a lot of this. Again, Luffy casual throwing out many stamps, clearly not putting in as much power as he sort of did when he was more serious, or putting not putting as much of his power because again, Luffy at this point is stronger than he was at the East Blue. So you know, there is that. Uh, and Luffy is a madman. He really decided to clash against this thing directly. That was insane, Luffy. I really don't know why you did that. No, I really have forgotten about this. What the hell is this? What the hell? Why? Why, Luffy? Why? Why would you do that, man? Anyway, so yeah, he does the clash. They're clearly both wounded pretty badly. Honestly, they took a hit. They took a hit from this. If Enel came here and then he just tried to one shot them all, I mean, it probably wouldn't. I mean, it definitely wouldn't have worked with Luffy, but maybe with this weaker Wiper, he could have one shot him. And then again, he kind of no, he really doesn't one shot him in the end because he does take damage, right? He fails one, and that's when Wiper attacks him. So yeah, like Enel kind of lacks that one shotting casual attack level. I mean, but he definitely can one shot Wiper. He definitely can. Don't get me wrong. If he just used the name attack, he would definitely one shot Wiper. But what I mean to say is that he can possibly one shot this Wiper the same way that he one shotted Sanji, right? That's what I mean. He can probably at this state that Wiper's in, Enel can use the same move that one shotted Sanji, and if he uses that exact same move on this Wiper that is damaged by the Luffy's bazooka, he falls down to that. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think a healthy Wiper probably doesn't fall down from that attack that he did onto healthy Sanji. Was it even healthy Sanji? Nah, I mean, I don't want to get into that. I'm gonna check this later. Damn, that's gonna be annoying. But anyways, so Luffy got sent quite a while back. Quite a while back. Okay, alright. So then he gets eaten by the snake. Yeah, Wiper's wondering like what happened? What happened? Yeah, again, I really don't know why Wiper decided to go into this fight. He really had no reason. Luffy wasn't looking for trouble, bro. He even asked if he wanted to pick a fight. Uh, Wiper is just so blinded by rage, man. This character, I like Wiper a lot, But fighting the blue sea people was the worst idea he could have made. Dude, that was horrible. That was a horrible take. He should have just said, you know what? Let those people run around. If we don't attack him, if we don't attack them with any luck, they will take out some of the priests, and we can just focus on Nether. I don't know, but no. He he just couldn't keep it in the game. He just was too blinded by rage. He was just mad at everyone, I guess. So yeah. Anyways, this guy decided to fight with this other guy, and yeah, kind of impressive. Let's give this man impressiveness because he has this power to sort of counter back a cannonball that's probably scales as good as Wiper's cannonball, which is probably just a regular cannonball, like a marine ship cannonball. Which all of this means that this guy is showing prowess similar to that of Gum Gum Balloon, right? So this guy can sort of do his own Gum Gum Balloon level of power to return back power. So yeah, there's that. Uh, Now this other guy was fat, so he survived that somehow. But he didn't survive this other attack, which is the mountain axe. Does that mean that mountain axe is scale higher than cannonball powers? I don't know. I mean, the guy was already damaged. Let's just say yes, because of the One Piece logic of the last attack is always stronger than the middle attacks. So yeah, let's just go with that. Although that this probably isn't true for the Rob Lucci versus Luffy fight. That's probably the only time that the character is too tired to do a stronger attack. But anyways, that's it. So this guy has axe dials in his chest, and that's how he manages to cut this other guy. And yeah. Robins are here just finding out stuff. And here comes the no reason. No reason. The little brothers of Satori. The little brothers nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for these little brothers of Satori, bro. Nobody was asking for this. But alright. Alright, the little brothers of Satori are coming in here. And now we're about to get the chopper fight. That's good. Pirate Chopper versus Basilisk Geratsu. So, anyways, this is the first solo Chopper fight. This is the first time that Chopper has to fight as a pirate alone. And yeah, this guy is 15 years old, but honestly, mentally, he probably is like 7 or something. Let's be honest. Chopper had a bad life, bro. He's like 7 years old mentally. Um, so yeah, I think that ultimately this is what sort of all I wanted for Chopper, for him to be 15 years, so that he's a doctor, but like mentally like 8 years old at this point, and then after the time skip he's like mentally like 10 years old or something. That's ultimately the goal with all that making Chopper 15 years old. He has to be that old to be one of the best doctors in the world. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the reason why he chose that age, but whatever. The point being here is that Chopper is about to fight this guy that honestly very strong, very strong guy, all things considered, but not not exactly the smartest guy, not exactly the best battle IQ in the world. Honestly, I think I also have to do a sort of like a battle IQ scaling video in which I just scale One Piece characters battle IQ. Let's find the dumbest One Piece fighter, bro. Something real fun here is that One Piece fighters often tend to be so dumb that I think that good versus would be like a verse with really smart fighters, really smart fighters, and grab the smartest weak fighter possible from another verse and putting it against the strongest dumbass fighter in One Piece. So yeah, I mean that would be something, I guess. And this is one of a good example of a guy that's just too dumb to function, bro. Too dumb. So yeah, Gedatsu's out here. Let's see. Did this guy? No, yeah. Chopper save him specifically, resurrecting him, and then he said, "Fight me, fight my axe blade or something, fight my axe style or something," and then gets one shotted immediately. Immediately one shot. Again, Gedatsu, a strong guy, complete idiot. A strong guy, but complete idiot. I swear to God. Anyway, so let's see. This is 262 dash 2, I think. Yeah, seems like that's the thing. It's a jet punch. Immediately destroy it. Uh, damn. Damn. And then Chopper is fast enough to dodge it. Honestly, he used the fact that he was moving vertically to help him. But yeah. Now this on the other hand, it's a little bit more closer. This means like Chopper is close. His reaction speed is close to Gedatsu's jet punch, because like he wasn't expecting Gedatsu jumping into the air and doing this maneuver in which he sort of tries to do a jet punch onto him. But Chopper is fast enough to use heavy point, and this means that gravity is moving him again. But then again, Gedatsu doesn't really have complete control in the air of what he can do. He's also pretty linear. But reaction wise, I think it puts him in the same level of Gedatsu, probably. Uh, so yeah. Here's Chopper using guard point to block this attack. Pretty good. Tries to find a weak point. There is no weak point. And he takes a fist to the face in brain point form. And Chopper walks away from this. Again, looking pretty good. Remember, these are guys that ultimately Sanji and these are three guys that are stronger than the guy that Sanji one shot at. That doesn't sound that impressive, right? Let's see. Let's see if I can sort of scale this. So Sanji's sort of a Mr. Two level fighter. How bad is Chopper out of this? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, but it's pretty good durability for Chopper. Ultimately, tanking a jet punch is pretty good. Let's see. He tries to use a jet punch. Seems like it kind of narrowed. It just kind of didn't hit him. Maybe if it landed correctly, it would have one shot at Chopper. But it didn't. So again, that's just what happened. And then Chopper does the rodeo cross. That's it. Forget that. Now let's remember this, and let's be very very careful about this. Did Gedatsu get unconscious from this or not? Let's see. He says that he must escape. That means that he can move. He tries to use the Milky Dial, and this, in fact, sinks him. So that means that Rodeo Cross didn't one shot him. Okay, just again, This Gedatsu is going to tank a 10,000 meter fall. He's just gonna tank that. That's just something that's gonna happen. He's just gonna tank that sort of damage. Uh, and again, we can sort of say that the other priests are kind of relative to that. Obviously, at some point he lost some speed because I don't think he hit at the same level of speed that Kaido hit the ground with. I'm gonna be honest. It's a gag. I mean, like, let's not take it that seriously. But this Gedatsu is the same one that sort of resisted the Rodeo Cross. The Rodeo Cross was useless against him. The Rodeo Cross was able to sort of one shot the Wapple's assistants. Let's see. Is there something else? Rodeo Cross was strong enough to beat the beat Wapple's assistants, right? Rodeo Cross was never used on Miss Merry Christmas or Mr. Four, but it would have done some damage. No, I actually don't remember. Maybe it was used against Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. Four. I'm gonna have to look this up, but maybe what I'm trying to get at is that maybe these fighters are just Mr. 3 level. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe. I'm gonna have to see the tape, bro, to be sure. I'm gonna have to review so much things. Again, this is the point in which all the attacks coming back are sort of the biggest thing that I'm gonna be able to use as a sort of power scaling indicator. And again, I usually don't just give the characters the benefit of the doubt of like they just got stronger because they're on a new island. I usually don't do that. So I mean that's just a thing I do not do. Obviously, One Piece characters do get stronger, but I just don't think that it happens as immediately as people want to say. I don't always put the character as massively stronger just by getting to the next island. Like I want to see evidence of that strength growth that happened. But anyways, so here comes this guy with an impact dial. This guy with farce, this guy with sense, and this guy with flame. Oh, sorry about that. So then they use the combination attack here of flame and gas dial, which is pretty deadly. Okay, so that's 263 dash 1. So now Typhoon should be the same exact level as it was versus Miss Double Finger. So again, if this had landed, that would have been very helpful for me. But yeah, I mean it didn't land, so I'm just gonna have to cope and see. Anyways, 263-2. Yeah, because he sort of left the ship, then he came back. And oh no, it does land. That's good. Cyclone Tempo does land. Sort of kicks him out of the ship. If he doesn't get back up, I'm gonna take that as a knockout. But I think he will get back up. Yeah, he gets back up. He seems to not have that much damage, but it did throw him off the ship. fuck. And then Nami's fast enough to get inside this guy and then use an impact. Alright. Again, Cyclone Temple didn't do that much damage to Miss Double Finger, but I think it did some damage. So, yeah, this is gonna be very fun when I eventually get to this point. It's gonna be very, very fun to sort of see this guy's durability compared to Miss Double Fingers. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Alright. So now Robin versus this guy. I think his name was Yama. I think it was that. Anyways, let's see. So this guy uses Maria again. Robin tries to sort of tank some slashes for no reason. I mean, she's trying to protect the artifacts and stuff like that. But honestly, she walks it off pretty well. I mean, kind of just showing us that Yama can only deal with fodder, and this makes sense because honestly, his skill's lower than the priest, and I already told you that I think some of the priests probably have some Mr. 3 durability on them. So it's like whatever. Literally whatever. So yeah, I mean, like the war keeps going on. Then Kamagiri arrives here. He's dying from just stabbing Enel. He then uses Born Blade. Born Blade's pretty good. Honestly, it destroyed this tree. No problem. I also think it could have destroyed anything else that wasn't lightning. But yeah, there is that. Yeah. Enel just decides to kill this guy. And then Enel uses here 1 million volt. I think this is probably what Enel used to one-shot Sanji. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is probably it. Which is a strong attack, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of just casual for Enel to use this attack. So, yeah, I mean, casual AP by Enel here. Not really that much of a deal. So yes, 264-3. Yeah, and this takes out I forgot his name, but this takes out this guy for good. So not coming back, down for the count. Solid one shot. Unlike with Sanji, that Sanji got back up in less time than whatever this guy was taken out for. So yeah, let's see what's going on. Five are left from the Straw Hat crew. Yeah, right. All right, so we're gonna continue with this. It's probably going to rain very soon, so if you hear rain background, it's gonna be live rain. But it wouldn't be bad to put in some rain sound effects. I like rain. I like rain sounds. So yeah, maybe one day, whatever. So anyways, continuing with the story, Nami meets Aisha. Nami is going to take Aisha into this thing, whatever it was. The snake's mouth, yeah. They're gonna do that thing. And then Robin does this combo attack of 30 floor hang. She complains about how heavy this guy is, and yeah, that guy's heavy, no doubt about it. We're kind of seeing the limits of Robin's power right here, specifically strength-wise. She just doesn't have as much stats as the rest of the gang. That's probably the only thing that really limits her, I guess. At least in pre-time skip. Like if she had more strength, she would be a menace. But yeah, that's kind of the limitations that Oda is putting into the character. That she's not as strong as, let's say, Luffy. Because if she was that strong, she would be the strongest fighter here with the versatility of this route. But nope, there are some things here. And then she reverts the mountain axe thing and makes it hit himself onto that, which is enough to take him out. This means that again that Robin couldn't finish him off with his own strength, at least not in one attack. Uh, Not that bad for Robin per se, but definitely kind of showing us that if she was fighting like a priest, like one of the priests, which are stronger than this guy, she would have trouble. She would have to sort of use the dials as well to beat them, which is good. I mean, it's not good, but uh, Robin fights usually with intelligence, not just brute force. So I mean, this is one of these cases in which maybe she would have beaten this guy in like four more Treinta Fleur hang attacks, but she just chose to take the faster route of using intelligence to destroy it, and that's what she did. She just used the reverse dials and then messed this guy up. Anyways, so he's down for the count. No. Forget that. Forget that what I said. I forgot that she does this. She uses CM floors to take him somewhere. Yeah. And then she even does clutch. Okay, no, forget about that. She's just humiliating this guy because she could have used this move from the get go. She didn't. She didn't really need to do all this thing. She kind of just wanted to humiliate this guy. Forget all my analysis I was doing before. I forgot about this. So yeah, she could have done this move in which she just tosses him off a cliff and does clutch at the same time, which is a really good move. Don't get me wrong, it's a really really good move. So this is what it was needed to take down this guy. And again, he should scale below the priests. Um, hmm. Anyways, moving on, we have Pirate Chopper versus Vassal and this is a fight that Chopper's gonna lose. Sadly. But everybody needs to be knocked out for the big finale. That's just something that needs to happen. So yeah, comes in here. Mm-hmm. Zoro is fighting a bird for no reason. Anyways, Chopper's running away from and then one shots Chopper. Now Chopper just came in from tanking a jet punch, so maybe you could argue that if he was fresh, he would be able to tank this. But I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. Don't matter. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna need you to be chill about this because I need to actually do something right now. So just be chill. Just be chill. I need to delete some things here. Okay. Thank you for being chill. So, anyways, yeah, what was I doing again? Yeah, I think I put this on dark mode. Let me just. Okay. So at this point, you should be able to see the screen back again. I really do hope that you're seeing the screen back again. Good. All right. Uh, let's continue with this. He one shots Chopper. Maybe this was healthy Chopper. Maybe this wasn't healthy Chopper. Let's go into the middle and let's say that Chopper would have been two shotted. Like two attacks from this guy would have ended him. Just to sort of keep the power level kind of consistent or kind of not go into complete wank of Zoro's opponents because I don't want to go into that. Um, so let's just say that Chopper lost would have lost to two attacks from this guy. Let's just say that. Uh, Again, the guy is looking good. Two attacks to beat Chopper is kind of good because again, that's better than let's say Mr. Four. So yeah, there is that, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, let's see. More battles, more battles, more battles, more battles. Soros almost eaten. And then let's see. Downfall arrives here. Zoro falls down. Zoro falls down and tanks this. But again, really fine. Kind of fine. Wiper versus versus Zoro. Versus Gunfall. Again, really good cover. Really looks good. This just looks so incredible. Such a good scene. I'm gonna have to also show you guys this, which is kind of repetitive, I know, but bear with me for a sec. I have to remember to delete all these extra captures eventually, but yeah, I love this panel. Really good panel. I just like it. I just really like it. Anyways, nothing much. Nothing much else going on here. Let's see. Versus Gunfall versus Wiper versus Zoro. So Wiper tries to use the burn bazooka. Uh-huh. Viper clashing equally with Zoro's unnamed slash. This is the same attack that, or this is the same technique that he was using to block Luffy. The boots move at the same speed, so if Viper is using speed at all, that means that the non-name slash and the, yeah, he definitely is using speed. The non-name slash attack and the stamp and this attack are kind of equal. Sora's kind of pissed off about this. He really wasn't expecting Viper to be so strong. Remember that Zoro already fought one of the Shandian fighters, so he was expecting a certain level of strength from them, and Viper exceeded that expectation. This kind of makes sense because Viper narratively should be stronger than Ganfall, and Ganfall should sort of be relative to the priest or stronger than them altogether, and at the same time, Ganfall is weaker than Sanji and Zoro. So yeah, kind of makes sense. This kind of makes sense. So anyways, this one's got fangs too. The punching dog, supposedly very strong according to Zoro, because he really didn't want to fight this punching dog. But we're about to see how strong he really was. So yeah, strong dog doing strong dog things. Downfall trying to land a hit on gets blocked. Again, Downfall is the weakest fighter here, so kind of makes sense. No, forget what I said. Is Downfall weaker or stronger than No. Forget what I said. No, Gunfall is not stronger than the priest. Yeah, I remember now. Gunfall lost to Shura. Yeah, so Gunfall is actually, yeah, kind of priest level, but honestly the weakest priest, if anything. So yeah, sort of like Gunfall just kind of doesn't scale to the priests. But anyways, let's just keep going very quickly before I keep losing brain cells. So yeah, right. So this is the Trail of Wire, or the Trail of Iron, or something like that. I don't remember that. I think it's the Trail of Iron. I think maybe. Anyways, we're about to see. Another panel to remember old One Piece art. Again, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Let's see. Stop it, Viper. I am something something. Born bazooka onto the snake. Did it do any damage? That's pretty good because we're about to scale the snake. I think it kind of took him out, but it didn't do any lasting damage, and it didn't melt the snake. So there is that. So yeah, I mean, this is a whip. The whip is enough to damage Zoro. Yeah. I'm gonna grab this one just to remember. Anyways, so it's a whip attack. It's a good enough attack that it hurts Zoro. And then everybody just keeps fighting. and then everybody decides to save these guys. Good. Wiper, despite being blinded by rage, cares enough about Isa that he goes in to save her. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Because Wiper is a big softy underneath all the violence. Kind of like other characters that are obsessed with revenge, but still put priorities onto sort of their loved ones, or if they had any loved ones, or on the memories of their loved ones, stuff like that. So yeah, Wiper is a big softy. That's probably the reason why I like him so much. Is despite being so aggressive and so sort of like Beasley, he is actually a big softy, which is sweet. Honestly, kind of just a sweet guy all around. Anyways, so here comes the snake. The snake eats these guys up. For shame. And then, yeah, everybody's getting hit on this one. That's pretty interesting. So Wiper gets hit by the dog. Again, the dog is supposedly a big fucking deal, because like Zoro didn't want to fight that dog, and then Zoro gets hit by the sword. Apparently, it does damage. Zoro was impressed by it, but I don't think it was enough damage because he's taking a clean hit right here. He kind of walks this off. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, like he's bleeding a lot, but he's gonna walk this off. So yeah. I mean, I think the dog is probably relative to probably. Well, like or the other sort of like animals that were used here in the Skypiea fights and stuff like that. The dog seems to be the only one that has AP similar to its user. Uh, Again, real crazy dog out here, just one shotting everything. That isn't Zoro or Wiper. Could this dog have one shotted Gunfall? Possibly. I'm gonna be honest, possibly. If this had landed on Gunfall, yeah, probably. Now, luckily, Gunfall has at least mobility to sort of keep up when he fights things via Pierre, but yeah, no, he definitely doesn't want to take a hit from this dog. Anyways, so he activated one of the wires, and then he was told to run because no, it's more like he's using Holy to activate the wires, right? Okay. Right. So let's see. The snake's still up. So that snake walked off from a bazooka, from a burn bazooka. Pretty good, because that means that he can walk away from a Gun Gun bazooka. Which again kind of makes sense. I mean, Luffy wasn't even attacking it thoroughly, and it wasn't enough to knock him out. So yeah, that snake's pretty good. Oof. Damn. Damn. I forgot about this. Wiper kind of just tanks uh, an impact dial from the back, or maybe it's an axe dial. But either way, he tanks one of these attacks. He just tanks. He just sort of says like, I'm a man. I'm gonna resist this." It's probably an axe dial. I think all the priests had axe dials. So yeah, it's an axe dial. He tanks this out. He tanks this, and I don't know. I think maybe Wiper and And what was this girl again? Raki may or may not be Isa's parents, or maybe adoptive parents or something. Maybe. I think it's possible, especially because of the way that Wiper decided to look at sort of what he believed to be Raki's last moments. I think that I don't know, possible that these two had a romantic relationship, real possible. Anyway, so he takes this guy out. He gets more pissed. Wiper was already pissed as it is, so yeah, there is that. And then Wiper easily reacts to this guy, puts him against the wall, and that's it. And then Enel, the egalitarian that he is, everyone is human, man. Everybody is equal to my eyes, and I think everybody else but me is garbage. So I'm I'm an egalitarian, my dude. Fucking Enel. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, you cannot say Enel is a sexist, bro. You cannot say that. I mean, he's completely deluded and he thinks he's number one in the world. Yes. But sexist? No, no, he's not. He definitely isn't. So, anyways, continuing with this, let's see. Chapter 270. The serpent's still moving. They decided to sort of take that guy down, but nah, they just cannot work together for goodness sake, they just cannot. Uh, Here we have a sort of like an equal speed kind of thing here, like the bazooka is being used. If anything, I think Wiper initiated the attack. Zoro was fast enough to react to it. Again, this bazooka attack can be compared to sort of no, forget that. They saw each other and they both wanted to smoke. No. So yeah, so they both wanted to smoke, but I'm just saying this bazooka is probably analogous to Luffy's Gum Gum bazooka, and Zoro's reacting to it nicely and dodging it. Same way for Wiper, he's reacting to it, dodging it, kind of equal reaction speed and stuff like that. Reaction and combat speed, whatever, it's fine. Let's see. Here we go. Holy's on the move. Fast enough to sort of get into the middle of this clash that these two are having, but not fast enough to actually tag them. So yeah, Holy is fast, but not fast enough. Definitely kind of lacks the speed. But hey, pretty good. I mean, it's still good for the dog, I guess. I mean, it's just a dog. It really shouldn't be that strong. I really don't know why Holy was this goddamn strong. So yeah, there's that. Then Om's trying to attack Zoro. Again, these things are strong. There's a reason why Zoro doesn't want to be caught by them. So yeah, Zoro is clashing this because he needs to dodge this. And then this guy tries to use an axe style on Wiper. Not even sure what Wiper did here. I think he sort of counter. What the fuck is he doing? So yeah, he kind of just did an acrobatic in which he positioned himself on top of the guy and then threw him into the ground. But he did it with 2 feet. If he did this with just 1 feet, it would be easier to scale. But no, he did this shit with 2 feet, which pretty crazy, pretty acrobatic move by Wiper here. Pretty acrobatic. Still, speed wise, pretty good. Attack wise, doesn't matter. I mean, this is a bazooka. Attack wise, speed wise, pro. No, I mean this is stamp speed wise, and attack wise is also a stamp. So yeah, that's what this is. So yeah, that's it. Let's see. There are 6 people and 2 animals left. Carrying on. Adventures in the cave. Luffy's naked. Oh no, not naked. Just very shabby clothes. Anyway, so let's see. Everybody's scared that Luffy was damaging the snake. Uh, yeah. And then Nami does enough of a hit that it hurt the snake. What the heck is this? No way. No way. That's crazy. That's crazy. I really do. I'm not scaling that. I'm not scaling Nami punches in general, man. I'm not doing that. That thing is comedic. I'm not doing that. So, anyways, then he, let's see. Wiper uses burn bazooka. It burns the snake. Tong, 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 tonga, tong, 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 tong. No, that's. I'm gonna have to check this pronunciation again. God damn it! I really wish I could just remember it correctly from the beginning. But
tongue,
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 tongue, tongue. Whatever. Burns the snake's mouth, but it's not enough to do any lasting damage. So again, not really that big of a deal. Kind of just pissing him off. Again, the snake is feeling damage, which pretty good, especially for doing these things pre-time skip and stuff like that. But this snake is really durable, really really durable. I mean, it's not falling down to anything. Um, so again, everybody kind of just does things. Zoro again just showing that yeah, he definitely relies on his strongest attacks on the use of swords and swordsmanship and stuff like that, but he's no joke at punching people in the face and one-shotting people with just his feet if he has to, and that's what he does here. So anyways, we have here Ice and Whip. Take that whatever. Also one shots another guy. Honestly, not that big of a deal. This is an attack that Zoro wants to dodge in general, so yeah, it kind of has to be strong. 171-2. Then he uses a wall in order to sort of like cut off Zoro. This is an iron wall. Then he uses Eisen Fan. Should be about the same power. The hard thing about this attack is that the shape is different though. But it should be around the same power of the same thing that he's been using. It's just harder to dodge. That's when Zoro is impressed. Let's go. Then he uses Fork. He's kind of just hitting Zoro with different shapes to throw him off balance because he's getting close. Which again, good battle IQ. Good battle IQ. This is what Gedatsu using his battle IQ looks like. Instead of just being a dumbass. But yeah. He's trying his hardest to sort of do damage to Zoro. Again, all these attacks kind of scale to the same level, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna be doing anything that crazy anymore. I think has just revealed his hands. He has strong attacks, strong enough so that Zoro wants to avoid him at all costs, and he has a strong dog, and that's it. But so here Zoro tries to use the same thing that he used versus which guy was it again that Zoro beat? Braham. He tries to do the same thing that he did against Braham. The problem here is that because is defending, this is gonna be a trouble for Zoro because is defending these attacks. So this is going to work in the sense that we know how a battle between Braham and would go, in that outstats Braham pretty badly, but ultimately this is a sort of like a faraway attack from Zoro, so that's the reason why not good enough. It's not one of the strongest attacks Zoro has. It's just a very versatile attack. It's the best versatile attack Zoro has. But yeah, that's kind of it. Let's see. 2 people and 2 animals. Yeah. Whatever, why not? Three people are left. And two animals. Right. And he's kind of just telling Zoro that soon he's gonna be defeated. Uh, Here comes thinking that Zoro is the leader of the group. That's just not gonna happen. And here comes Zoro uses an attack that you could argue it's 4 times stronger than the attack that he used versus Braham. So yeah, there is that. Was it 4 times or was it 3 times? No, it's just 3 times. I'm wonking it way too much. But yeah, an attack you could say that is 3 times as strong. So yeah, there is that. Zoro ultimately defeats this guy. Again, the priests in general are stronger than the Skypians, so that makes sense as well. Although this is, I think, the strongest priest. Again, especially if you consider that Zoro actually beat this guy while he was weakened. Because normally, if you were to fight this priest, you would have to beat and the dog at the same time. You wouldn't be able to pick and choose who you want to fight. So there is that. Yeah, plus the dog probably pushes Zoro to extreme div, like he goes insane. Probably a horrible thing for Zoro if that happens, bro. Because the dog is strong. Again, the dog is somebody that Zoro just said, I don't want to fight this guy. I just don't want to fight him. So yeah, that's it. All right. Here come people. Okay. This is a good point to talk about Oda's lack of deaths in One Piece. Just very very quickly. I think this is another death that was robbed from us. That was robbed from us. And I think, again, this is one of the deaths that you could say like there really was no reason to sort of hold back. Like it was totally fine to just let this death happen. And it's Connie's father's death. Connie's father, obviously, you got to know him. A reader would be sad if Connie's father died. Yes. But ultimately, Connie's father and Connie herself, they were all sort of dreaming on this better, on this better Skypia, free from Enel's grasp and stuff like that. And at this point, sure, they got into this man because they wanted to help Luffy and the others, but at this point they already had a free ticket to get out of here. Like helping this random God's assistant really wouldn't have sort of helped the Straw Hats anymore. It really wouldn't have helped themselves anymore. So they just chose to help this person because that's ultimately who they are. They are good people. So they chose to help this person, and that's the reason why they got in trouble and they would have died. If they had just chosen to get out, everything would have been fine. Enel probably doesn't destroy them. Enel probably just lets them go into the island. That's it. I mean, they're eventually gonna die in the island, but they don't get killed at this point. All I'm trying to say is that if Connie's father dies from this specific circumstance, then it's totally fine. I mean, it's not the main character's fault, and they can have the party because supposedly that's the reason why Oda doesn't kill that many characters, because then it wouldn't make sense to have the parties at the end of it all. I call BS on that. I think you could definitely have the parties after being the big bad guy. I think you can definitely just do it. Like for example, like people did it after, like or just recently did it at the end of Egghead. At the end of Egghead, Luffy's sad that Vegapunk is dead, but like you could just say something, do something funny or whatever, or get a character to tell Luffy to get happy and celebrate, and Luffy would be happy to celebrate. And that's how you fix it. That's it. A character that deals with death, feels bad about the death of their loved ones, but ultimately that goes above it, kind of just lets it go, remembers it, sort of makes a cheer in remembrance of them, and then just carries on. You can totally do it. I mean, that's what they did in Alabasta. That's exactly what they did in Alabasta. So I don't really know what this rule about sort of not killing characters is all about. And again, there's only like 3 or 4 characters that really have this sort of like dark connotation of like Oda should have actually killed this character, and then Oda doesn't do it. Um, so it really seems like it's just like a couple minor changes in the whole story, and the story would be better for it. I mean, it's Bell, it's Connie's father, um, Soul. I think maybe Soul. I mean, Soul kind of being the guy that makes sure that the books get back to a safe place. I think that's a good storyline. I think all executed it a little bit bad, but I think you could honestly do Soul surviving somehow correctly, especially because he was execution by his friend, and his friend obviously held back, which is a common theme with the admirals. The admirals all except kind of held back a little bit. All have their sort of people that they care about. They're just not killing machines. They're humans. In fact, they're trying to be heroes. So it kind of makes sense that they are murder machines. Um, so again, what I'm trying to say here is that if I just committed to some of the kills more, then it would be better. But yeah, it was Bell, it was Connie's father, Kinemon, and somebody else that needs to die. Honestly, kind of, I think that's it. Think that's it. I mean, he did committed to killing Monet, which is good. He did committed to killing Virgo, which is good. Um, is there anybody else at all that I'm forgetting here? Hachi dying. No, no, no. Again, you could, in theory, if you wanted to turn One Piece into this seinen thing in which that is more common or more gratuitous or stuff like that, you could keep characters like Hachi or like Soul to sort of increase the stakes and stuff like that. Um, I don't think is that necessary. I think definitely when you have just pushed the envelope of a death so much, at that point you have to commit. At that point you do have to commit. But if you haven't pushed it that much, nah, I don't think it's something mandatory or anything like that. I think that choosing, for example, for Hachi to live, that's fine, because Hachi is like, well, I mean, he's in a strong compared to the monster trio, but he's kind of strong. Um, like he's like the second strongest swordsman in Fishman Island, stuff like that. So kind of makes sense that a fighter would be able to survive a bullet wound or like a bullet wound to the chest because he's a fighter. But Kinemon surviving a stab, I mean, being attacked by one of the top tiers of the bears after being severely damaged, and then on top of that being stabbed, and then having an emotional moment about his death. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely that guy, because you put too much emphasis at that point. Yes, I mean, like, as much as I think Kinemon is a tank, I mean, like, you already put the attention into that. So anyways, yeah, probably that's it. um so yeah, I definitely think those 3 characters probably should have stayed dead. uh the Vegapunk surviving. Oh yeah, spoilers, by the way. Obviously, this is spoilers. Obviously, but yeah, the Vegapunk surviving. Kind of yes, kind of not. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Because Vegapunk is the smartest guy, and because we know that he has robots and stuff like that. I think. Hmm. I mean, I think it was fine. Again, the execution of how Edison got away with it. Again, kind of makes sense. On the other hand, the Gorosei getting their hands on Vegapunk's tech, like fully, completely getting their hands on Vegapunk's tech, that would have raised the stakes. That would have been dark. That would have been pretty dark as well. But did not happen. So I mean, but the Vegapunk's being alive, kind of not a big deal. I mean, kind of you expected it with when you have this big brain, and the big brain kind of is the source of all the knowledge that the Vegapunk robots have. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that that survives. But yeah, Anyway, so I got a little detour out of that. Let me just carry on with this. So yeah, now Enel does his big move. He does one of these things. I'm not gonna scale this one because again, Connis's father survives it, which is BS, and I don't want to deal with it. Uh, okay. So yeah, I mean, and ultimately this guy beats himself up again. Holy is just a menace, real big menace, bro. Bang your head and pass out. So Holy can only be beaten by Holy, apparently. Crazy, real crazy, real crazy. Holy is so crazy. Anyways, Sango Smash. Who did that? Okay. So this is NL flexing a move out here. Real strong move, eh? Sango Smash. So this is a move strong enough to sort of destroy all the clouds that they're walking on. Uh, they are clouds, so durability wise, not that impressive. But destructive capacity, like area of effect, pretty good. I mean, it kind of means that it's kind of undodgeable for the people out here because they couldn't dodge it. I mean, speed wise, pretty good. AP wise, kind of whatever. Who gives a shit? So yeah, they're falling down. They're falling down. Zoro grabs Chopper. That's cute. They're falling down. They're falling down. Two animals. Two people. I mean, three people. Um, no, the prediction was completely wrong. I'm gonna be honest. Like three animals, three people, whatever. Three animals, two people, and Eno. Whatever. They fall down. Luffy and Isaac couldn't get away. Nola is happy. Nola is really happy. Nami's being perceptive about this. And then he uses an El Thor to one shot this neck. This is gonna be important because I think he uses El Thor once more in this story. And we're gonna be able to scale whoever is the person that tanks it, unless of course it's Luffy. In that case, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're about to see who else can tank this El Thor. Anyways, Zoro is worried about Nami. Nami's there. Uh, so Isis should probably die, bro. Okay, now this is important. Wiper himself here is accepting that he couldn't hurt the snake with multiple bazookas, but yet Enel can destroy that thing in one bazooka. I mean, with one attack. So this is just something important to remember here. That means that multiple Gun Gun bazookas wouldn't have done anything to the snake. Yet one Thor can do it. Again, this is just to sort of reiterate the idea that uh, Luffy kind of got saved by his fruit. Like, really badly, he got saved by his fruit. Because, like, Enel's AP is crazy, his durability is ass, but his AP is pretty good. The AP is so good that he can sort of do more damage than multiple bazookas. Multiple Gun Gun bazookas. Let's say 100 Gun Gun bazookas is probably the same AP as whatever El Toro is, right? So 100 Gun Gun bazookas is equivalent to one El Toro from Enel. Then that's it. I mean, like Luffy's getting saved by the fact that Enel cannot use his main AP on him. He just cannot. Speed wise, Luffy's fine. Luffy's probably faster than Enel speed wise. Uh, let's see what else. The thing here is that The thing here is that Luffy has, uh, I think, better speed when they're in regular shapes, regular human shapes, and then Enel has better speed when he uses the lightning outright. Uh, maybe, maybe I do not remember that. Do not quote me that. But the real thing here is that Enel's physical strength, which is what he has to ultimately use versus Luffy, right? Enel's physical strength is just not good enough, not as good as his Devil Fruit AP, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So the Devil Fruit AP is carrying Enel significantly because without that, he's not that powerful. He really isn't. And this is how he takes down Zoro and Viper and Robin at the same time. It is his fruit helping him sort of achieve these things. But yeah, that's kind of it. What I'm trying to say is that Enel's probably the biggest devil fruit merchant in the world, bro. This man is carried by his fruit completely, but completely, completely, completely. The only thing that he has good aside from that is the mantra, which is good. That helps him to sort of like deal with Luffy being a little bit faster than him. Yeah, I forgot that. That's the thing. Like Enel is faster than Luffy when he uses mantra. Without the mantra, by his own speed, he's getting cooked. He really cannot keep up with Luffy without the mantra. But yeah, we will get to that when we get to the Luffy fight or whatever. Doesn't matter. Uh, so yeah, that's it. So they turn to Nami. What? These people are crazy. Nah, this is funny. This is real funny. Who wants to die? Not me. Not me. What about you, little defenseless little girl? What the fuck? These people are horrible, man. These people are horrible. And then they finally turn to Enel and say, "You gotta die, God. You gotta die. You gotta die. Nobody likes you here." And yeah, nobody likes Enel. That's true. Nobody likes this man. He's so horrible, bro. He's so bad. Nobody likes him, like straight up. But yeah, that's it. So they choose to try to fight him, whatever. So he wants to go to the endless birth, which is the moon, right? So we don't know that yet. But yeah, he wants to go there. Uh, Honestly, he has the correct level for it to be there because with the lightning fruit, he doesn't have to breathe air or anything, so he can just go to space. It wouldn't kill him. Uh, Gamfel makes the first move. Enel is just a sick bastard and uses 20 million volt. Let's remember that 1 million volt was enough to deal with what was this guy again? Garikiri or something like that. So again, he's using an attack 20 times stronger versus an old man for no reason. Again, because Enel's just a petty bastard. He's just horrible. So yeah, he uses 20 million. 20 million is enough to take him out. Let's remember again, the thing that can take out Gamfall is not that strong. He can lose to the Shura priest and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, Gamfell's solo. I don't know what to tell you, man. The Enel's out here fighting 120-year-old man, bro, for no reason. For no reason. This man's a fucking psycho. Anyways, and he chose to kill him first. Whatever. Whatever. Anyways, I'm going to create my godland for gods or whatever. As I despise conniving women and stuff like that. Yeah, he attacks Robin with a casual attack, but again, we don't really know how strong this attack is. We don't really know. Could be an attack of similar potency to the one that destroyed the clouds, which again should probably scale lower than the 20 million volt. But we just don't know how strong this attack is. We really just don't know. Uh, yeah. So yeah, that's it. Uh, Robin out here was trying to sort of negotiate for everybody walking away from this, especially after seeing the lighting Logia. So Robin isn't stupid. Robin knows that he's just fighting a lighting Logia. He's not gonna be able to do shit. But nah, nah, it didn't work out. It didn't work out, unfortunately. Again, we really just don't know how strong that attack that he used on Robin was. We really just don't know how much AP you need to knock out Robin, but you can probably scale this to Crocodile now to think about it. Yeah, you can probably scale this to Crocodile's attacks, I guess. Still, Enel dealt with Robin pretty easily. Looking pretty good for him, again, to sort of be scaled above Crocodile, but we'll just actually see when we get there. Um, Sora's mad at Enel, makes sense. Blocks Enel blocks this attack again. This is kind of like blocking a Gungam stamp, as we saw from the interaction with Luffy earlier in the fight and whatever. Uh, the other fights, yeah. Enel dodges Zoro. Enel then has to be punished with this bazooka. Uh, does he do anything? I think he uses light. I think. I think so. He did something to protect himself from the bazooka. I'm not really sure what, but either way, it would just scale him back into bazooka level, Gun bazooka level. Not that good enough. Not good enough or whatever. Anyways, so this was 002. Anyways, the power you possess is nothing compared to the power I possess. Again, being cocky as hell. Sort of lands a hit, but it's not gonna do much. It really isn't gonna be doing anything. Then Enel does again a random nameless attack. Random nameless attack on Sora. You could scale this probably to the same level of power that he used versus Robin. I mean, if you want to wank Zoro, that's what you do. Uh, but definitely you cannot scale this to 20 million volt. Definitely. Zoro is surprised by this level of AP, obviously, because again, Zoro and Viper were kind of put as relative, but on the side of Zoro, on the side of Viper couldn't do damage to the snake, well, and it could one shot it with a named attack. So, again, his attacks are supposed to be strong. Like, by all means, the attacks should be more impressive than the dogs or the Vipers. And Zoro commenting on his AP makes sense. Makes sense that he's commenting this. Anyways, uh, so now Viper here is using Kairoseki. He's using Kairoseki to sort of nullify the powers of Enel just for a little bit. Just enough to do a reject. The sad thing about this is that if Zoro was just a bit faster, they could have possibly cut Enel down. And I don't know if that would have been enough. Probably wouldn't have been enough, but Maybe. I mean, that's a better plan than whatever this fucking dumbass was thinking with the reject. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the rejects probably is outscale Bazooka, at least 5 times stronger than Bazooka. Well, that's the thing. Wiper himself said that he used multiple bazookas and it didn't do enough damage. So you gotta ask yourself like, what is Wiper thinking? Like, is he really that confident that the rejects are gonna do anything at all? Because like, again, looking at this back and sort of analyzing things carefully and stuff like that, it makes sense to think the idea that Enel has better IP than durability. But the characters don't know that. This is the first time that Enel has taken any damage. I mean, it's like they really are just taking a gamble out here, and it's a bad gamble. But I mean, I guess Viper is just believing in himself, right? He's not asking for assistance or help or anything like that. And in the end, again, Enel can do damage that eclipses that of multiple bazookas. Again, I said like something like 100 times stronger than a bazooka, right? That's something like that. Maybe 100 was too much. Maybe let's say 20 times stronger than one bazooka, right? But Viper out here has a reject. A reject is 10 times stronger than an impact. The impact that Viper could use is probably weaker than the bazooka. So, I mean, the thing here is that the reject is enough, in fact, to kill Enel. Once again, showing that Enel, in all likelihood, has better AP for his level compared to the other stats. That means that his durability is butt cheeks. That means that his physical strength is butt cheeks as well. His AP is the big thing. It's the big thing that allows him to do all those one shots and sort of like destroy everybody else. But yet Luffy kind of has a chance. It's because his AP is very very good, and the other the other stats are kind of mid. So that's the thing, right? But yeah, I mean just my observation on the whole thing. I mean like the reject is enough, in fact, to kill Enel theoretically, and he just gets saved by the fact that his devil fruit literally has a revive option put into it. Literally, Enel cannot be killed by heart attack. That's the only reason that why he survived this. It would have one shot him, and it hasn't taken damage in all this time. So yeah, this is the first time that Enel took damage. This also means that the reject can possibly be scaled to the golden bell that Luffy used, which is crazy. Wow, no, so the reject can be scaled to the golden bell. Probably even higher because it actually killed Enel. Well, stop here's hard or whatever. And that's more damage than the golden rifle did. The golden rifle just sent him flying and probably knocked him out for a little bit. But Enel walked away from that. Enel still did his plan of going to the moon and whatever. So again, this is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that Viper had this. I mean, this just means again, like if Viper used this on Luffy, then again, it also wouldn't kill Luffy because he's rubber, so he would have also resuscitated himself probably, or it wouldn't have affected him the same way that it affected Enel or something like that. But it does mean that Viper has stronger attacks than whatever Luffy had on this story. Like straight up, just Viper just had better attacks. Just he had a stronger attack than anything Luffy had. Could he have won with a reject to Luffy? I don't think so again because it's rubber, so rubber is built in to resist those types of attacks specifically. But I mean, just kind of crazy, just kind of crazy the level of AP we're talking about here, kind of crazy. Anyways, chapter 276 out here. So Enel should be about to kill these guys, and I can catch a break and sort of stop talking for a little bit. I hope so. Let's see. Let's see what else happens. So Enel destroys the boots. These boots have been tanking a lot of stamps. So maybe they are a little bit damaged. maybe, or maybe Enel's just that guy. But now I'm gonna say that the boots are also damaged. I mean, at this point they have been taking a lot of damage. It makes sense, like kind of like with Dunkirk's armor. That if you punch something enough times, it breaks. So yeah, it's probably something like that. So yeah, so now Enos using Hinovir Sap, which is a mythological bird from some ancient mythology, which I'm not even gonna look for, bro. I'm not even looking this up. I do not care. It's not my jam. I do not care. Anyways, so that's 200 and well, that's fine. Whatever. Oh, this is 300 million volt. Okay. So this is 300 million volt. It's falling squarely into Viper. Uh, yeah, that's not good. That's just not good. 300 million volt, and Viper is gonna tank this after tanking the reject recoil. The reject recoil should not be that strong as compared to the reject itself. So let's just say that Viper had the equivalent damage of fighting a priest, and then he tanked the 300 million volt. And then Zoro comes in, grabs the Sea Prism Stone, and then he's about to eat a light beast kitten or something. Kitten, right. Again, this is a mythological beast, probably from Buddhism or something like that. I'm not gonna look that up. I do not care about looking that up. Yeah, it hits Zoro, and yeah, that's enough to knock Zoro out. Now, respect the Viper because he stands back again, and he tries to go for the other for the next reject or something. Not gonna work. He nearly gets hit by an Eltor. Again, this is the same attack that destroyed the snake. So that means that Viper is stronger than the snake, all things considered. Pretty good, I think. Pretty good. But then again, I mean, if you're gonna put this into Gun Gun Bazookas terms, that means like Viper can tank like 50 or 60 Gun Gun Bazookas to the face and be fine, which is crazy. Again, this is crazy. This is Luffy just sitting there and throwing 50 bazookas at Viper and just Viper walking away from that. That's pretty crazy. And again, that's the level of AP that Enel has. He just has that good of HP. But I think his other stats are ass. That's basically the thing. So anyways, let's continue with this very, very quickly. So, here comes Enel. Here comes Luffy. Whoa. That's pretty crazy. That's a good panel. That was a pretty good panel. Anyway, so Luffy gets out of there. Luffy's surprised that Sword is down. Robin gives exposition to Luffy. Ice is gonna lead Luffy into Enel. The ball's on Ice as well, cause like she really saw everybody dead, and she said, "Yeah, I'll take you to your execution, my dude. I'll take you there. I'll take you to meet God. Fuck you. I don't give a shit." So that's it. Connie's out there doing good things, trying to save the whole country, stuff like that. Let's see. Pierre is gonna take them into the sky. Alright. And now 279. Enel versus Luffy. Alright. So we're almost there. We're almost into chapter 300. We're getting very, very close to chapter 300. So Luffy dashes into Enel. Enel tries an Eltor. Really impressive that Enel tried an Eltor off rip. Mad respect. So he saw Luffy and he saw him as like somebody equivalent to the snake. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for Luffy. This is honestly really impressive because he was just toying with everybody else. He's kind of like, I don't give a shit about everybody else, but he saw a man with a devil fruit and he went directly into an El Thor. That's pretty good for Luffy. That's mad respect that I don't put on Luffy's name. Remember again, this is an El Thor. This is something that he uses against beast as strong as the snake. So yeah. Then he uses 6 million bolt. 6 million bolts should not scale as good as everybody else here. Everything else here. I'm gonna just have to just rewatch all of this when I do the last video. God damn it, I don't want to do that. But okay, so that doesn't do anything. And then he uses the strongest attack so far, which is 100 million body. This is an attack that is 10 times stronger than what I think he used to one shot Sanji. Although at this point, since we really didn't see the attack, let me just see if I can find that panel because maybe I just skipped it. Let me just see if I skipped that because like at this point, I'm not even confident on this myself. I do not have enough evidence, so I'm just gonna have to rewatch this. Let me just see. 252, I guess. I'm gonna try to check. Okay, so this is all still. Everybody is still with Sanji. 256. This one. Wiper the Berserker, Dial Battle, The Many Sounds, Pirate Sword vs. Braham. I know that Pirate Sword vs. Braham is just too late. I know that at that point it's already done. Let's see. Again. I cannot believe Viper wasted a reject on that guy. I cannot believe Viper wasted a reject on Shura. It really seems like overkill. Complete overkill. No reason to do that at all. Anyway, so Sanji here is talking with Ganfo. Blah 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 blah. Ganfo's I know that Dial Battle it's over, so let's go to 158. The Many Souths. Right. The Many Souths. That's a pretty good title, all things considered. Pretty cool title. Anyways, Luffy versus Viper. Zoro versus Raham. I'm just not seeing it. Maybe 257. I'm just not seeing it at all. Not seeing this at all. I'm gonna have to keep looking for it because I'm just not finding it. 259. See, Raham, Zoro, 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 Raham, Zoro. Okay, that's good. Okay, all right. Now he does kind of just appear and one shot Sanji, so we really don't know what level of attack he used against Sanji. I mean, and as fast as he can use 100 million bolt, like if you want to wank Sanji, I really don't think that he used 100 million bolt. Let's give him the same attack that he used against the old man, 30 million bolt. Let's give him that. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, I mean he uses 100 million bolt. 100 million bolt does nothing. Luffy calls him a little bitch and then punch him in the stomach. Nice. All right. Punches him in the stomach. I mean, kicks him in the stomach. This is probably a stamp level attack. And again, I'll just continue with my point. Enel's durability is bad. Really, really bad. Really, really just horrible durability. But anyways, he's gonna walk off from this. He really is just in the floor because he wasn't expecting to take damage at all. That's the only reason why he sort of did that. But yeah. So then Luffy uses whip. Again, whip should probably be around stamp level. Whip is around stamp level. Let's see, this is 288 dice 1. 280-1. And then he uses spear, also gets dodge, but honestly, should also be around stamp level. These are just casual attacks that he's using. He's not putting in a lot of strength. He's going for speed right now instead of power. And then, yeah, here we begin to see the sort of sad reality of Enel, and it's the fact that his physical strength, his regular physical strength, is just not that good. He just doesn't have that much physical strength. He's good, but he's not that good. He punches Luffy. He pushes him against the wall. Yeah, he dodges this. He's dodging this with mantra. I repeat myself. He's dodging this with mantra. He then uses gold to create a trident, which is gonna have blades. And he's gonna try to hit Luffy with that blade. But he's also gonna use his advantages, which are moving through metals, lightning speed and stuff like that. He's just gonna do that. So, anyways, he now uses liquid gold, or liquid enough gold, versus Luffy to stab him. Again, he's trying to do as much damage as he can, but his regular damage is horrible. And then Luffy uses Battle Axe. Battle Axe is pretty good. Caught Enel by surprise. And we move on to 280-5. Alright. By your little tweet. And then he uses Gatling. Again, Enel with mantra is able to react to this. Without mantra, he really wouldn't be able to. It really is mantra carrying him at this point. Anyways, 280-6. Was it dash? Am I thinking correctly? Let me just see. Dash symbol. Yeah, it's dash. It's long horizontal bar. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll give you a scenic tour of Skypiea. I am God or something. 200 million volt is what he uses to power the Maxim. They take off into the sky, and they're about to have the first round sky battle. All right. So first round sky battle. Luffy's gonna lose this, by the way. Like, in case anybody was expecting any different, no, Luffy's losing this. Alright, so continuing on, I'll need you to disappear. The preparations for the feast are underway. Disappear, Luffy, disappear from this world. It's a high voltage spear. Whatever, Luffy's doing very well. He's punching the spear downwards in order to avoid getting hit by it. Again, Enel kind of doesn't have enough speed to deal with Luffy. Kind of doesn't. He kind of really relies on mantra. Because, like, at this point, if he was outright faster than Luffy, he should be able to just blitz him and stab him, and Luffy would die. But no, Enel actually depends a lot on on mantra to sort of keep up with Luffy. Because like if not, he's cooked. He's completely cooked. Whenever he's in the middle of battle, and I think it is when he is attacking, he cannot use mantra as adequately, and then he just is incapable of doing shit to Luffy. You know what? Now to think about it, I can also do a speed scaling with this. Oh man, this is gonna be so horrible, bro. This is so horrible. I already have 2 fucking videos planned, bro. No way, no. Please kill me, bro. Please kill me. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. Please, somebody save me from this. But anyways, so yeah. So here we see just Luffy constantly dodging Enel's attacks, countering them. Uh, the fact that he can counter it so easily again just means like Enel's probably is kind of slow to Luffy, right? Like he really is good at defending, but he's just not good at attacking. Uh, in the case of Enel, I think that's probably it. I mean, Enel's pretty good at using mantra defensively to dodge shit, but for when he wants to attack, he probably isn't as good, and that's why he falls short. Uh, but yeah, that's it. So now Luffy tries something, and it's the Gum Gum Space Out to dodge all the attacks, and he's dodging them. He really is dodging them, but he cannot attack. And then he gets a really good idea, which is the fireworks. Really, really good idea. Fireworks, very good idea. How can I attack you? I'll do something you cannot predict because I cannot predict it myself. This is probably the weakest version of call of observation you can get. I mean, like, which is you can only read opponents' intents and predict based on opponents' intents, and then you have future sight in which you can just sort of see beyond just opponent intents. At that point, you pay attention to everything and you kind of just predict everything beyond just the opponent's intents. I think that's supposed to be the difference between regular observation and future sight. Opponent's intents versus actually extending the range to everything. Sort of the thing. I think that's sort of supposed to be the difference, maybe. Anyways, then he does a bazooka. Again, a bazooka is good enough to cause damage to Enel. I want you to understand this because, on the other hand, although this is a stronger bazooka than the one Luffy used on Wiper, right? This is a stronger bazooka. But let's say that this bazooka is equal to two burning bazookas from Wiper, right? Which is not a crazy thing to say, right? So two burning bazookas did not do anything to the snake. One serious bazooka from Luffy was able to do damage to Enel, right? Again, Enel's durability, bad durability. AP, pretty good, pretty good. AP is crazy. Durability, horrible. Speed, good, not good enough. Good, but not good enough. I mean, like, very good speed, but no. Honestly, for the things that are gonna happen later, nah, complete ass of speed. I mean, like, complete ass. I mean, if I'm honest, like a lot of people were reacting to Enel's speed, like his regular attack speed and stuff like that. It was just that his attacks then were just too big. So that was the difficult thing with Enel's attacks. Like the lightning attacks were too big. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the speed is really good for the fact that he has so much range. So when he uses big, large attack like El Thor, that fast characters cannot dodge because it's too big. Uh, then the speed isn't that important, right? But it's like when Big Mom used the Lightning Festival or whatever was the name of the attack in the rooftop, and it was catching people, even though everybody in that roof should be like light plus. Well, the reason why he was catching everybody was because he was crazy. He was falling everywhere. The attack is automatic. It covers all of the roof, and on top of that, you have to avoid two emperors at the same time. That's why it was dangerous. That's why the attack was impressive and it was capable of doing damage. The AP was good, the speed was ass, but the range was also pretty good, and that's how you were able to catch people onto that. But whatever, doesn't matter for now. Let me see if I did screenshot the last attack that Luffy did because I do not remember. Yeah, rifle. That rifle is probably stronger or as equally strong as the bazooka that Luffy just did. Uh, Also, rifle looks so cool, by the way. It's such a cool idea. It's like you want to do rotation into an attack because, the thing of rotation makes something produce more force, right? And a regular human just doesn't have a way to do rotation that way. But since Luffy's made out of rubber, he can do rotation. So Oda came up with a good way to do rotation into an attack. And it was pretty cool. But anyway, so he punches Enel, and at this point, he is not good. He is not good. Um, Enel is not at a good point right now. He really needs to get rid of Luffy fast because he is not in a good position. And this is where he uses the Luminous Forge attack. Luminous Forge doesn't really do that much damage except for the burns because it's hot liquid gold. So it just burns you, but it's not gonna make you faint or anything like that. Like if somebody gets hit with this, if they are fighters, they probably will tank the burn damage. Uh, Maybe even Nami can probably tank this burn damage, but the main thing here is just to sort of make Luffy useless, right? And that's what Enel's doing. He's trying to win by ring out. Even through all of that, Luffy's holding on pretty well. Uh, and then he has to kick him. He has to kick him into the I don't know, into the sea, into the ocean, whatever. He has to fucking kick him into the ground, right? Uh, so yeah, Luffy being thrown out into the ground. Obviously, he's falling for a greater height than when Enel threw everybody else from the uh, jockstock bean, whatever was the name of that tree or whatever, beanstalk, whatever it was. But it really is not gonna do any damage. Like everybody survives this. I think even Sanji survives this while being at severe burns. So yeah, I mean like this is fine. So now Enel is gonna use an El Tor. It really shouldn't be doing any damage to Luffy. It's just gonna throw him harder into the ground, and he's expecting to do this to sort of get rid of Pierre. Uh, I don't know. Let's just say that Pierre somehow timed this perfectly to sort of recover Luffy without being hit by lightning. I don't know. Let's just say he timed it perfectly. It doesn't matter. So now here's the thing. Sanji recovers, but Usopp technically recovers faster from this. This is crazy. This is crazy because like Sanji is like taking this 2 or 3 seconds of difference between the knockouts, and he's forcing Usopp to get up from that thing. So again, if they were hit by the same attack, which is a big if, it's a big if, and I do not think that's the case. I think that Usopp got hit by the 1 million and Sanji got hit by the 30 million. Uh, but if they didn't, if they were both hit with the same attack, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy that Usopp has straight up the same durability as Sanji and endurance as well, I guess. Whatever. I mean, not that big of a deal. I'm gonna be honest. Not that big of a deal. It doesn't really matter because Sanji's about to get his big endurance and durability fit right now. He's about to get it. So, they tried to attack Nami. I mean, Enel tries to attack Nami. I don't remember why exactly. But this is important because this just shows us that Nami is already well into lightning speed, like well into this third speed. Uh, which again kind of makes sense. I mean, like if you're paying attention to the story, yeah, these characters are well into lightning at this point. Uh, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, I guess you could say that Miss Doublefinger wasn't as fast as lightning, so if anything, this is kind of like means that Nami got incredibly faster. But look, either way, this is the point that it gets confirmed, or we're sure that the characters are into lightning speed because of the fact that Nami just easily did this or whatever. Whatever. So Robin is taking Zoro somewhere, or everybody. I think. Oh, what the hell is Robin doing, bro? She's just taking care of everybody. Again, just showing that Robin got unconscious, yes, but she got hit by less powerful attacks, so she recovered faster. And yeah, that's why she's carrying everybody now, because everybody is in a worse condition than her or whatever. But they're gonna recover fast. I mean, like I think Viper and Zoro both recover from this thing. It's crazy again. Anyway, so Luffy's out here just lifting this thing pretty casually, pretty just madly, pretty just mad about doing this thing. But yeah, pretty casually doing this, lifting something that weighs like 2 tons or something, just casually. In fact, he's about to begin running with this thing, which is again crazy. Uh, Technically speaking, this is not deflecting the attack. This is actually just using the properties of lighting and stuff like that. But I think it's still pretty cool. And then use battle IQ to sort of counteract Enel. Uh, she can really only sort of block, and that's only is if she can react to it. And now Enel's about to ramp up the speed. That's basically what he's. No, no. In fact, here you can see it. Enel's like saying like, okay, so you can react to my speed, right? But if I increase the scale of my attack, if I increase the range, it doesn't matter if you can react to it. You will still be hit. And that's sort of how Enel attacks, right? Like he uses everything in his power. He's also a really good devil fruit user. I mean, he's a devil fruit merchant 100%, but he is a pretty good user of his fruit. You cannot tell me that he isn't, creative, that like he isn't trying to exploit the fruit as much as possible. But rather, he's just simply not as strong himself. His fruit is really strong. He, not so much. But he is really smart. He is really. I mean, he came up with this whole ship thing alone. He sort of designed the ship alone. So that's pretty crazy. Anyway, so here comes Usopp. Usopp's gonna buy some time. Again, Usopp lightning timer very easily. Oh no! Oh no! That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's better. Okay, that's good. So Usopp lightning timer really casually, really fine. Dodges lightning. This is 284-1. All right. Dodges lightning supposedly comes in to save Nami. Not really gonna work out because let's be honest, Enel's a scary fighter. But yeah, he just needed to buy some time, which he does. He does buy the time. So yeah, I mean, Nami comes in with using a waiver to get away. Usopp's dodging lightning again, dodging lightning again, and then he tries to use psychological attacks, which is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I mean, like this guy is immune to physical attacks. Might as well just try psychological warfare. Uh, Not gonna work though. Not gonna work because the guy is a narcissist. Because the guy is a complete narcissist. Uh, and then he gets hit. He gets a direct hit. Again, obviously, Enel's not trying that much against Usopp. He's obviously not gonna attack him with a super strong attack. But again, Usopp kind of just tanks a lot of these attacks, and at the same time, Enel's not that softy. He's beating him and torturing him. He's obviously holding back enough to not kill him, but he's not a softy. He really should be attacking with some sort of intent to do damage. It's just that he's underestimating how much damage this man can take, because he can take a lot of damage. Now he tries to save him. Here comes Enel, tries to do an El Thor. Boom. Here you go. An El Thor. El Thor is 300 million Bari, I think. I think it's a 300. No, how much was it El Thor again? I'm gonna have to check the pictures I saved. So I'm gonna quickly go check how many Bari was El Thor. Very, very quickly. Let's see. It was 273 or 276. It's one of those. So let me just very quickly check which was El Thor. El Thor should be 276. Okay, now 300 million volt was what he used to hurt oh, now that I think about it, and I'll actually use a 100 million against Luffy, now that I think about it. Right, so he used a 100 million versus Luffy. Let's very quickly. I think I got it. I think I know. So he used 100 million, which should be somewhere around 279. I'm just gonna scale all the Thors as equal, because honestly he does it pretty casually, so it makes sense to scale them equally, because this is really just a base punch for Enel, if we're honest. This is just a gum pistol for Enel. So yeah, that's it. So he used an El Thor, right? All right. Then he uses 6 million, and then he uses 100 million. So here's what's weird about this. Oh no, yeah. First he thought he dodged it. So then he uses a 6 million, because the 6 million is probably a chasing attack. This is probably an attack that chases the opponent. So he probably just used the 6 million just to try to connect the attack. It was probably just about sort of landing the attack, because he thought he was fast enough to dodge an El Thor, right? Okay. But I do not see El Thor in a scale of 100 million Bari. That's gonna be the question here. The question here is if El Thor can be scaled to the million Bari scale or not. No, it cannot be scaled to the million Bari scale. We really just don't know. We really just don't know. He uses an El Thor and that's it. Look, all we know for sure is an El Thor is an attack that can, one-shot the snake. At the same time, it's an attack that can one-shot, well, it's not really a one-shot, that can finish off a weakened Wiper. After Wiper took a 300 million attack. That's it. That's all we know about El Thor. I would say it's probably a 50 million attack, maybe. And I'm just throwing a random number at the air, but we will see. I guess in the end we will find out. I guess. I'm showing you just nothing again. All right. Let me just verify that you guys are seeing something. Okay. So you should be seeing something right now. This is what I hope. You guys are seeing something. Anyway, so yeah, so they're saying that they're gonna leave Sanji behind. And it's true, if Enel hits Sanji with something stronger than an El Tor, uh, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. 100 million body attack, I don't know, that would have been fine. A 300 million body attack, that wouldn't be fine. And honestly, the real scary thing would obviously be stabbing Sanji. Because honestly, I think like Sanji definitely survives a 300 million attack. I think he definitely survives that. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, whatever. So Sanji's down for the count. This knocks out Sanji. Then he grabs him. Then Usopp jumps. Then the dumbass falls flat on his face. But he's fine. He's fine. He really is fine. Again, just showing us that obviously Enel Tor is stronger than these falls. Just which should be obvious. I mean, everybody's surviving these falls. Nobody has taken fall damage in all this story. Come on, like what are we talking about? Nobody has taken fall damage, bro. Nobody, like not even a single person has taken fall damage. That is crazy. But anyways, let's see. No, forget what I said. Yama did take fall damage, so I mean, no. Then again, it could have just been the clutch. It could have been the clutch that killed Yama. So anyways, so Luffy's climbing with a two-tone bell, just doing this casually. Then Nami's gonna take this waiver and he's gonna use that to carry Luffy, which is crazy because that means that the waiver has enough power to move like 2 tons of gold. No problem. Not only that, but he has enough power to be faster than Luffy. Oh man, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. What the fuck? That waiver is just insanely powerful. Because it had to be incredibly fast in order to sort of make the gap. Nah. I don't want to think about the waiver scaling. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that waiver scaling shit. Anyways, uh, so anyways, Wiper's about to take us into a flashback. God damn, that can be good. Anyways, Galgar is out here throwing giant iron balls. Honestly, this scales him to Garb level. Honestly, this does. I don't know what to tell you. This feat is kind of Garb level. This is just casually Garb level for no reason. For no, like, at this point, if Calgara fought Garb, just physical strength, they're probably equals. That's it. They're probably equals, which also probably means that what was this guy's name again? Noland is also equal in physical strength to Garb. Just crazy, just crazy. Like these kind of people just show up all the fucking time in the One Piece world. That's crazy. That's just some casual fucking thing for the generations of One Piece. It's fucking insane. Anyways, so yeah, tradition, yeah, sickness, yeah. Blah blah. People are dying, blah blah. We need to cure them, blah blah. There's gotta be a way to cure them, blah blah. Right. And here, yeah, definitely they should be physically similar to Garb. I mean, here we have Nolan just casually destroying the previous giant snake, which should be as strong as the old giant snake, which honestly just sort of puts him at fucking Enel's fucking El Thor level of AP, and they do this casually. And then we see Kilgara doing this shit also casually. So I mean, like this, it is consistent. I mean, they just have this power to destroy these things that fucking stand so much violence, and they just like don't give a shit, man. I mean, Asuka's is stronger than a cannonball. So I mean, like again, this guy's just casually doing exerting power that's 10 times as great as a cannonball or something, and just physical strength wise. So yeah. Then Nolan hits a woman just for sex. Just could shouldn't be wouldn't be a flashback to the past in One Piece if we didn't see some violence against women. Nah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We see some domestic violence in every direction. We see it in every direction. Not just women. We see it against kids, against men, against anybody. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I guess. I mean, it's very real. Very true to form or something or whatever. Or it has a purpose, or it has a reason to exist, or some shit. I don't know, bro. Anyways, Nolan is dying in a chasm. What's the name for this?
chasm,
Chasm. Yeah. So Nolan is dying in a chasm. Yeah, he's cooked. He's really cooked. He's super cooked. He's super. Whoa! I forgot about this. Come on, what kind of bullshit is this? What kind of bullshit is this? He's just lifting like half an island. He's just lifting half an island casually. No. Actually, not casually. This is his limit of his strength. He's doing this with all his might. But he's doing this with just physical strength, no haki. He's lifting half an island. This is just lifting strength, as far as we know. Yeah. Yeah, because if he had haki, it would make more sense for him to, I don't know, harden his body or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think he's using haki, I guess. But he did lift half the island, I guess. Calgary saying tradition's good. Nolan saying no, we have achieved something good through passing of generation, through evolving, through human effort. We got a better future. So please bet on what everybody else has tried to do. Bet on the progress we have worked as a species to achieve. So the theme is, obviously progress, or sort of like the passage of time, or I don't want to say evolution because it's something else. I guess progress. Progress is the right one. It's progress versus tradition, right? Like what do you have faith in? And this man is saying, it's not that I disrespect your culture or disrespect your traditions, but it's like this is something that has killed many people in the past. And my people finally found a way to get over it, to cure it, to deal with it. I do not mean to disrespect, but I just don't want anybody else to die from this. Because this plagued my country or my men or my people or whatever for so long that I just don't want anybody else to die from it. It is something of like saying like I understand the feeling of wanting to hold on to tradition, but I want people to live or something. And here you can see it. 60 years ago in my country, this tree fever, which is now attacking your village, became a plague and took 100,000 lives. It was a horrible disease. Anyone who caught it had 90% chance of dying. But in recent years, the rate of people who die from that same disease hasn't even reached 3%. That's because of botanists from the South Blue discovered an antidote during his explorations. It's a medicine called conin that can be extracted from the bark of the coconut tree. I have some of that in my right hand right now. If I take it back, I can make medicine. The village can be saved. And you see, that's the thing. I mean, like, ultimately, he isn't thinking about things in terms of tradition, which is sometimes what some people want to do. What they want to put things all just in terms of tradition. But no one is holding a greater cause, which is human life in general. No one wants to protect life. It's what he wants. He really is not attacking tradition because he thinks, oh, it's funny, it's primitive, it's whatever you want to call it. he wants to do it to save life. Calgara is doing this out of tradition. He also wants to save life in the sense that it has worked before. It's the way we have done things before. Uh, but Nolan here has sort of like the proof or something that works better than tradition. Because let's be honest, during the 60 years that the plague was tormenting his country, that means that they were probably doing tradition to deal with it. I mean, they just didn't have the same understanding. They got a better understanding of the situation, and that's how they got from the 90% dead to the 3% dead. These guys, let's say that their method reduces it to from 90% to 80% somehow, right? But it's not as good as Nolan's method, and that's the ultimate thing. Like Nolan wants to help. He legitimately wants to help. And then he adds this thing of antiquated ways are real evil. And sometimes that is true. That is something that is hard to swallow sometimes, but that's just something that happens. Sometimes the past can be bad. That, like, if we think about it in terms of like traditions, like let's say Christmas, or I guess just because I watch a lot of American movies or United States movies. The thing here is like um, traditions can be good, right? Like traditions like sort of like celebrating Christmas or celebrating Thanksgiving or celebrating an Independence Day or something like that. That can be good. The problem overall is when a tradition becomes a problem, right? When a tradition sort of stops people from doing something that's overall better. And you can see that, for example, in things like vaccines, right? Like some people just afraid of vaccines and stuff like that, and that thing is just overall better, right? Let's say another thing that could be like in the past, something that gets done by tradition, and then there are better ways to do things now. Uh, well, food production in general. I mean, there are a lot of bad things with modern food productions in the sense that you could say that the quality is worse off than before, but we have achieved quantity with these new methods, right? So the idea here with having quantity over quality is that nobody should be passing a night starving and stuff like that. In practice, maybe that doesn't happen, right? Because resources and stuff like that, and we need to have resources and get some profit to reinvest and get more resources built in or something like that. But the main thing here is that when progress comes a knocking, uh, you know, you have to try it. You kind of have to go in the route of it. Especially if the current way is killing people. If the current way is killing people and demonstrably killing people, then you probably have to come up with something better. I mean, like you can reject it for years and stuff like that, or you could say that the thing that people are saying is the thing that's gonna fix it is not quite there yet, and that's the reason why we should wait, and that's fine. But that does also mean that when the thing that should make things better gets here, we should jump into that thing, and it's scary. It's really scary, um, but it is what it is. I mean, to save human lives, progress should be tried. Obviously, again, progress that has been tested and stuff like that. No, not progress that is just progress for the sake of progress, but rather progress that we know and we have tried and we believe that will, you know, increase human life survival or just life survival for when we really get into the future, right? I mean, currently, I'm gonna put it just on human life, but in the end of everything, probably just life in general. Just get better. The things that make life better in general. But like, yeah, I got a little bit distracted again. It is a really good topic here. This conversation of like tradition versus progress. Yeah, ultimately Calgara chooses to bet on Nolan. He agrees. He agrees with that. And yeah, that's kind of it. He one shots the the other snake. Yeah, and it's the confidence. He's not talking out of his ass. He's not a man trying to sell you snake oil. He is trying to save people. Now it gets really difficult later on because there are people that will try to sell you snake oil. Snake oil. They will come with their theory. They'll try to tell you that they want to do something good, and they do not. They ultimately are just trying to sort of um, they're just trying to sort of get a quick buck out of you. They're trying to take advantage of you, whatever. They do not have either completely good intentions, or they are rushing into something without really testing it, or without being sure. They just too sort of skewed view of themselves, in which they just do not know that they are doing harm, or that they are actively doing harm for a reason other than to help people. Otherwise, they're not trying to help people. That can happen too. So the idea is to find a way to sort of identify these people, because it's a problem. It really is a problem. The people that sell you the fake cure for a disease and stuff like that. That is a problem. But I don't really know how to cure that. I guess the best way is to educate people beyond just yeah. I mean, English and mathematics are good, but also into sort of the idea of understanding human behavior, in sort of identifying people that want to do you harm and people that want to trick you and stuff like that. That's also pretty good. Anyways, whatever. They get expelled. He calls himself a botanist. Yeah, and then that's it. The Musa tells him why they did it. It's because the forest got infested. Again, sometimes this thing called progress can hurt traditions, and can hurt traditions that you may think are not doing anything any bad, right? Like, for example, this just keeping a forest where the old people's souls were resting and stuff like that doesn't seem. I mean, like, it seems like it's something horrible. It seems like it's just progress for progress sake, but it can have a good reason. Like, for example, the fact that when there was I think it was the Black Plague. I think it was a plague of some sorts. People had to burn the bodies of the people, right? Because it was just too contagious. It was just too risky to keep it, to let it decompose and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes you have to do things that seem obscene, profane, or bad, because because there's a reason, right? But that's the thing. Like, if there's a reason, uh, then it's not progress for progress sake. It has a reason to exist. It's trying to help people and stuff like that. But if it's just progress for supposedly progress sake, then is it really progress at all? Progress has to be guided by something, right? Progress should be with the intention of, like, making kinder society, making healthier society, making a society that sort of maybe uh, a stronger society. It has to have a purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, if it's just progress for progress sake, then that's the problem. So, yeah. Or maybe progress for aesthetics or something like that, right? But when it has a purpose, then it's fine. Of course, then there's the problem of people using a fake idea to claim progress. You could say, for example, there the eugenics, right? Like, people were trying eugenics with the idea of creating progress, right? But eugenics is sort of not proven at all. It's kind of just a fake science, just sort of like an idea that somebody got, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of just bad. Now, obviously, you could we're gonna have to talk about in the future about eugenics too, which feels a little bit messed up. But like the idea would be something like if you can make people be born without any sort of neurological conditions, like would you do it? Like if you could make people be born without any sort of differences out of the standard human body, like two hands, two legs, stuff like that. Like, should we do it? Should we limit things to that? What if we can make all the human beings be born with an IQ higher than 120? Should we do that? Should we just create all humans to be, smarter than 120 IQ? And the idea on that, I think, yes, yes, because and on that case, you could say that you could create a better. So maybe the neurotypical conditions, maybe not, but with the IQ above 120 for all human beings, yes, you could maybe make the argument that yeah, I'm gonna make society smarter by making everybody 120 IQ or higher. So yeah, I'm just gonna force everybody onto that, right? Uh, Again, it seems to have a purpose, right? Like I don't know. I mean, I guess ethically, this is something that the human race is gonna have to talk about eventually. But the main thing here is that the main thing here is that when we get to that point, we're gonna have to talk about what is progress and what isn't progress, right? I think maybe the idea of just giving the option to people would not making it mandatory. That makes sense. On the other hand, to sort of create humanity free from diseases, from disease, let's say free from HIV or free from cancer, I don't think anybody will oppose that. I think everybody would be fine with just if we can just make humans immune to cancer and immune to HIV from the moment they are born, right? Like that just seems like all win-win, right? Like that is very clearly just progress, uncontested. But it is then when we get into the more specific things of like what if you can choose your baby's gender, or I think currently we already let that happen, but there's the question of that of like do you want to make it mandatory for everybody to choose their baby's gender? Like is that progress, or should we just not do that and just sort of keep things as they were before, in which like people can be surprised and have a boy or a girl? And again, gender is not that important, all things considered, but um, maybe for other things, maybe for exactly what I was saying before, neurotypical behaviors. Like, would you leave that thing to chance, or would you choose whether your baby is born with neurotypical behaviors or not, and stuff like that? I mean, like it gets complicated. There's definitely a line, but when it comes to the question of simply this progress will save human lives, at that point it becomes easier to say, yes, we should go to this progress because it's gonna save human lives. Anyway, so Luffy keeps running, 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 Luffy's about to fall. Nami comes in clutch with the waiver. Okay. So this is Kingdom Come. I think that's the name of this thing. Really strong attack. Country destroying level attack. Country destroying island level. I don't know, but country destroying easily probably. Anyways, 289. No, 294 dash 0001. 0001. Anyway, so yeah, we're getting close to the end. That's good. Luffy's saying that he wants to be the NL. Right, 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 right. Giant Jack. Ah, yeah, that was the name of that. It was the Giant Jack. He wants to destroy Skypiea because no human should be living on the sky or something like that. Uh, they're both going after the bell. They will destroy this thing so it falls to the west. Now everybody's gonna try to destroy the beanstalk. I mean the jack stock or whatever. You could scale, Enel's feet destroying the beanstalk. I guess you could do that. Uh, yeah, I guess you can do that. You could do that, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. 294. Yeah, because Enel's a dirty player and he doesn't want to deal with it. But honestly, at the point in which Enel destroys it, it's obviously way, well, not that way, but it is smaller than at the base. So, yeah, I mean, like, nah, you can not necessarily wank Enel that much. Anyways, 295. We're almost at 300, guys. We're almost there. Oh, we're almost there. God damn it. We're almost there. 295. They have a plan. They're gonna go for it. 296. Ultimate sky situation. Zoro easily deals with this. Cuts one of them. Honestly, he did a good job, but I don't think he's. I mean, I guess he could have stopped in the middle of his attack, so he could have done this solo, probably. So this is 296-1. He could have done this alone, but he cannot because he gets hit by lightning. So yeah. It's not falling, buddy. It's just not. And then the snake does enough damage to turn this. Pretty crazy that this snake has so many scaling feats. Pretty crazy. This is gonna be fun to scale. This snake's gonna be super fun, bro. He's gonna end up being Zoro level somehow. Bro, ain't no way. Okay, alright, so. Right. Is it falling? It just leaned, but it's not falling. Mm-hmm. Oh my god! Now I think about it, it would be very cool if Wiper gets to meet Cricket at the end of the whole thing. That would be pretty fun. Anyways, he uses one last reject, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Here we can see a little bit of the difference again of like, you know, power wise. How much does a reject do? Uh, it's pretty good. I mean, like Zoro with yeah, I mean, admittedly nameless slash, but honestly, kind of a slash that he putting a lot of effort into. He caught the thing, but you know, not not as good as this destruction. This destruction is better than the attack that Zoro did. But yeah, the reject is stronger than what Zoro just did. Anyways, Viper just took that again. Anyway, so it begins breaking. Right. And then it's coming down. It's coming down. It leaned. And then Luffy here is being boosted by Nami. Dragon. I don't know. I guess this is equal to Big Mom's thing. I guess maybe. Who knows for sure, bro? But uh, it's somewhere out there. I guess because this is not just regular lightning by Enel. This is lightning boosted by the Maxim. So yeah, there is that. Mamaragan, there will not lose. The air will not lose. Yeah. Here I come and it'll give me that golden bell. Kingdom come. This is honestly crazy though. What Luffy's about to do, this fucking crazy. This is just some insanity. He does a gum fireworks while he's carrying 2 tons in one hand. This is honestly just insane. This is honestly just insane. Honestly, I don't even know how to begin scaling this thing. I don't even know what he's doing, bro. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck Luffy's doing here. I don't even know. I don't even comprehend it. But he did it. And then he has enough power to then just do a rifle out of this. He doesn't lose any momentum out of this somehow. Anyways, then he used 200 million Amaru, which honestly, this by the million volt scaling should scale lower than the attack that he used on Viper. Uh, I don't know what that means exactly, but all right. Uh, tries to hit him with that, doesn't work. Obviously, because he's Enel's just being a dumbass out here. Luffy still hasn't lost his momentum somehow. Somehow he's not lost his momentum. Somehow. Anyways, dash two, and then he gets stabbed. All right, it was a bait. It was a bait. All this time, Enel was just baiting Luffy into this position. Pretty shitty bait though. Pretty shitty bait. It seems like he could have just used an El Tor to throw him into the ground. But honestly, whatever. Literally whatever. Anyways, 298-3. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I know that by chapter 300 it's over, so there's that. Should be falling, but nope. He uses Gum Gum, right? Don't underestimate me. Air loaves. Nice, good. And Golden Rifle. There's a lot of things going on, so I'm just gonna take what I can. I'll just take what I can because there's a lot of things going on here. I'll take this. It's probably the best image I can take from this mess. Anyways, 298-4. Golden Rifle. And epilogues. Let's go. After this, there should be no more powers being used. Enel gets hit by this. He lays flat on his back. But I really don't think it knocked him out. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't think it knocked him out. He definitely got up at some point. And Monblanc was just worried about his guys because honestly, he just sends them into the sky for no reason. They really just took so many bets with that shit, bro. They really just took so many bets with that. And that puts an end to Skypiea. Honestly, this arc does a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff it gets done here. I think it has a lot of battles. It has a lot of like story. It's not all overall, I think, directly tied to the lore of One Piece. I think it has this amazing antagonist Enel, which Enel is probably the thing that's gonna be paralleled in the end. Enel and Emu are probably gonna be very similar. Probably Emu comes from the fairy bird. It's what's gonna be my take here. That Emu comes from the moon, maybe, or something. That or Emu is the earth itself, something like that. But if she's human or if it is human, I'm gonna bet that it came from the moon, right? But anyways, the main thing here coming into here is like, look, Enel was fine. Enel was fine. He got up after this shit. I mean, he's pretty bad, but he just chose to fuck it. I'm gonna go. So yeah. So Enel, yeah, he took damage from the golden rifle, but he isn't knocked out. But then again, what we know for sure is that the reject can kill Enel. The reject is enough to one shot him. So that means that the reject is scaling higher than golden rifle, which is crazy, really crazy. Uh, that does not mean that base Oro is stronger than golden rifle. No, take me wrong. I'm not saying that bullshit. But what do you want from me? Is what happened. Is what happened. The reject finished Enel very fast. The golden rifle did not. Uh, that's it. Let's be fair here. Let's be fair. Enel could have resurrected himself. Fuck it. Golden rifle and reject are probably around the same level. Yeah, that's better. Golden rifle and reject are probably around the same level of power. In the fact that they can both probably kill slash beat slash stop Enel's heart, and Enel can only get away with it because he has that broken ass fruit that kind of resurrects him. Honestly, I think even if you had Haki, you wouldn't be able to beat Enel with blunt damage. Apparently, the only way you're gonna beat him is by decapitating him, because otherwise he can just resurrect himself, or so he can just restart his heart. So that's it. Anyway, so everybody does their silly things here. They choose to leave, whatever. Gold Roger already did the job. He tells the guys, the Shandians, that the job is done. You can just retire. You can just go away. And yeah, that's it. Things are done. Everybody did their job. Anyways, so yeah, Wiper walked away from this, even though he should have died a long time ago from all the reject usage. But yeah, like Wiper's just built different. What the fuck you want from me? He just built different. The guy is just built different. Anyway, so everybody cheers, and we're golden. That was a Skype. Honestly, yeah, a lot of fighting happens in this arc. It is incredible. I think it has more fighting than Alabasta, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, the pacing definitely does take a toll because of that. And yeah, that's kind of it. Then we have here this guy fighting with this other guy. Yeah, the Flamingo out here just in the middle of the Grand Mine. I mean, in paradise, just doing shenanigans. Uh, and then yeah, that's it. Bellamy begs him to let him join his crew. The Flamingo says, "Fuck it, why not?" And just kind of uses him as a servant, I guess. I guess that's kind of it. That's the only thing that Doflamingo could come up with him. Anyways, chapter 304. So now we're about to get to the most infamous arc. I think this is the one that most people just do not like. I think it's fun. I think it has good moments. I think the anime definitely made it worse by making it longer, but it was fun. Uh huh. Luffy breaks the bamboo, and yeah, the Foxy pirates come in and very quickly ask for a duel. Yeah. So now this is probably One Piece. Its most silly. It really definitely doesn't want to ponder too much here. They kind of just having fun. They kind of just want to have fun. And yeah, that's it. They're gonna have fun. They get tricked into playing the game. Well, honestly, Luffy would have probably accepted this game no matter what. I'm gonna be honest. Just for the adventure, bro. It was you know what? Bet I can do it, bro. Bet I can do it. Bet. Anyways, this could be fun. Yeah, and everybody else was kind of yeah, was already expecting it. I mean, like Luffy's gonna accept this. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna have fun, bro. It's just having fun. It's a pirate adventure. You should have fun. Anyways, obviously this is a sanitized version of pirates, but yeah. Yeah. Sweet. So first is a rowing contest. Should be easy. No. Oh, what the heck is this? Uh, yeah, they're throwing some stuff out there. Oh Fishman karate techniques. But I mean, Capote is not really that strong of a fighter. It's probably skill super low. I mean, probably Shu is stronger than Capote, so like whatever. Who cares? It's just dangerous because they're in the sea and they aren't fighters. That's it. Firestar. Oh, actually resisted Firestar completely. Nice. This is pretty good for Capote. Actually, this changes everything. Doesn't change a lot of things, but like whatever. Okay. Then Ocho Fleur. Ocho Fleur. Right. They used an impact dial to get some speed. That's pretty good. That was a good move from Robin. Robin's actually using 3 arms to roll. That's pretty good. Okay. So here we have Foxy doing some cheats. Cheating, cheating, more 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 cheating. Combined twin fission power engine. What the heck is that? I really don't remember what Nami did here. Doesn't matter. Flower Shuriken. So these are just kind of ninja stars, so it should be fine. It doesn't scale it anyways. Just some flower tricks and stuff like that. Nothing that impressive. And I think they're gonna win. And then the boss uses a slow low beam. So the slow low beam really it doesn't do anything damage wise, but you know it slows people then. Dude, imagine if fucking Vegapunk found this low beam fruit and he could replicate it. That's basically time manipulation that this guy gets, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy if he gets that. That's crazy. If Vegapunk gets his hand on this technology, he can just begin to manipulate time. That's crazy. But anyways, that's not gonna happen in the story. At least not in the One Piece story. Maybe in the Two Piece story. But yeah. Okay. It's a really good power. If it had a strong user, it would be very powerful. Like for example, if Katakuri had a slow low beam, he would be really strong. It would be really unfair. Imagine Gear 4 being slowed down and then Katakuri on top of that has Future Sight. Nah, that's just not fair. That's just not fair. But yeah. Anyway, so Zoro here has a moment with Chopper. It's not that healthy of a moment, but it is a moment. Then we have the sports section. Three guys versus two guys. Anyways, Prince of Stupid Kingdom, whatever. Yeah. It begins. Yeah. Slippery. Punk pass. Enough to send Sanji falling, but doesn't really do damage, I'm gonna be honest. It's not really. Nothing that these guys do really does any damage to Sanji or Zoro, so it's like, who cares? Yeah, I mean, like, these people just don't do damage to these guys. So yeah, I think all I also just wanted to sort of unwind, have fun with the story, not take it too seriously. Uh, but honestly, a soccer game or whatever this game is trying to be, not really the best idea, probably, because it's kind of long and windy. Man, I don't know. Anyways, 310-4. Anyways, whatever. Punk dig. There's just a pass again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it early, guys. Think I am getting tired here. But yeah, we'll retake this as soon as I can. Probably on next Sunday. I'm gonna be honest. Things are kind of hectic at my job right now. I think they're gonna get better sooner than later, but for now, I really just do not have the time to commit to certain sort of a schedule in between weeks. I wish I could, but nah, I just do not have that time. So, anyways, Sanji being a tsundere cannot let Zoro save me. Uh, okay, I think in this chapter they finally get their shit together and finish the game. Luckily. Right. Yeah, whatever. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not that excited about scaling this, but I think I can just finish scaling Long Ring Island and then be done with it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Cause yeah, If not, I'm just not gonna be excited for when I come back to this. It's gonna be dreading it. So yeah, Punk Spike. Let's see what else this guy does. Human Cannonball, Sling Tackle. They begin taking damage from the combo attacks, but again, it really doesn't seem like they're in any risk of getting KO, knocked out. It really just seems like it's annoying. Anyways, yeah, because I really don't think these guys are getting anywhere near being KO'd. I mean, knocked out. I really don't think that's the thing with these games. It's just that they're not progressing at all. Anyways, 312. They decide to work together finally. So Sanji comes here, casually blitz this guy, obviously. 312, I think this is it. With any luck, we're finishing in this chapter, this soccer match, which is very boring. At least from the sense of power scale, it's boring. But yeah, story wise, Lonely Island is fine. It does have a lot of character interactions for little things. Just overall how the crew talks to each other, overall how the crew gets along with each other, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just also not feeling it that much anymore. I'm kind of tired. Gotta bum out. It's probably because tomorrow I have to go to work. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, I'm just not gonna talk too much about that. It's just boring. Anyways, here comes Dragon Twister. Dragon Twister Lens gets rid of this guy. Cuts the other guy. Then Sanji takes him from the back. That's what she said. And should be looking forward to the end of this thing. Toss him into the ref. Because he's mad. And then a combo attack into the giant fishman. Oh, thank God. That's it. That should finish up this this thing, right? Okay, that finishes that up. And main event. Luffy having complete faith on Zoro and Sanji. And now we have an all-out battle. Get ready for an all-out battle. After Luffy's born. Oof. I have low internet, so it's gonna take a little while to charge. I mean, to load, to load. So, anyways, let's see. We're getting very close to the Okiji fight. I think that's where I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop after this Foxy fight, and that's it. I'm not I'm not going any further than that. Uh, Luckily, I think I did put in the tell that it was until 350, which is good that I did that because I underestimated how long the battles in what was this again? The Skypiea were gonna take me. There was a lot of battles, a lot of battles. So, anyways, here comes the slow beam. You know, the thing with the slow beam is that I really just need one. Aside from that, there's really not much to do. I mean, it's a really functional fruit. Again, Foxy just doesn't have any AP. He really was, I think, at no point in chance of knocking Luffy out. It really was kind of like this battle in which Luffy just has to come up with a way to counter Foxy. Yeah, I mean, like that was honestly the closest Foxy got to eliminating Luffy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna scale some random arrows. So it's really kind of annoying. If Luffy had regular durability, or if Foxy could stab him in any shape or form, he would be dangerous. But he cannot do either of those things. So he's cooked. He really just cannot do anything. It really is just a matter of time until Luffy comes up with a counter, and that's it. Okay, those triggers that would truly only work on Luffy. Uh huh. He used spikes. Yeah, you can see the spikes. Direct hit from Foxy. Yeah, let's go. To be fair, I mean, like, Foxy can tank a lot of bombs. I think like two or three bombs, which is good. But honestly, at this point, it's also not that impressive. Or maybe since the beginning, it's not that impressive. I mean, like, Boggy tanks a Boggy Dama to the face at the beginning of the fucking series, and that Boggy Dama is like, I mean, that Boggy bomb is like way stronger than a regular bomb. Like, I don't know. It's like building level. No, it's like ship level versus city level. So, I mean, whatever. Probably the best thing for Foxy, like aside from getting Haki and becoming stronger, is probably just to get buggy bombs. Probably. That's probably the best thing he could do. Getting a laser would also be way better, but he's not gonna get a laser. He's not that smart to build a laser. And Frank is not gonna sell that for free, so. So again, Fox is taking these hits, but again, probably Luffy not going as hard. I mean, these are even unnamed punches, even so. Goes into the armory. Okay, that one was funny. Yeah, Foxy's actually really funny. If it was just Foxy versus Luffy for no reason, just random scrapping, no games, probably funny, probably really funny fight. Anyways, this is 351-4, 315-4. Uh, if he dodges this, counter trap. Again, not really doing that much damage. Then he does Nine Tails Rush. Damn. Yeah, One Piece then gets a lot of name attacks. Anyways. And he fights the Super Mecha. Gungan Pistol. This is technically the strongest that Foxy gets, and by his own admission, those punches can hurt Sea Kings. But honestly, not that impressive again. Same old. Not that impressive. Because I think that at this point, Luffy can also knock out sea monsters with this. I mean, Sea Kings with this. Probably the weakest of the Sea Kings, but still, he can probably also knock out Sea Kings at this point, so it's like whatever. No, he does land this. So here Luffy's getting with seeking, seeking, KOing potential power here, and he's gonna walk away from this. He's He's not gonna die from this. He has a sword, which is good to restrain specific body parts, uh, but not as good as the beam itself. And again, he says that Luffy's barely alive, but he gets up. He gets up. And he's gonna do it again. Another Megaton Ninetales Rush. I think the thing here is that the machine is capable of hurting Luffy. The machine really is that good. Fox's punches though, not that good. Fox's punches themselves are bad. But the machine is good. The machine really is that good. Anyways, 300 and something. Let's see. 117, I guess. So here, beam sword. All right. Here, I guess there was potential of comedy here, in which Luffy just took off the afro to get away from this low beam sword, which is just affecting parts of the body, not all the body. Now this is also an enhanced Foxy Punch. In this one, he has higher speed than regularly. So again, speed is power. This is a stronger Foxy Punch. So here, Foxy is matching a Gatling from Luffy. Um, this is probably the best thing to scale Foxy, but honestly, you really shouldn't be able to do this. I think like Luffy's not giving it his yeah, here it is. Like Luffy's taking a little bit damage, I think, but he's really not that impressed by Fox's punches. So I think what happens here is that uh, Luffy's not putting in that much power, and Foxy is actually surprisingly durable. Not super durable, but more durable than you one might expect. And then he hits Foxy with a flail. Now this part is very important. We need to see the damage that happens for Foxy from this one flail. Is he in the water? or is he inland knocked out? Oh, he went to the water. Nico Robin. All right. I'm gonna call this chapter 319. Whatever happens here, that's all I'm gonna record. I'm not fucking recording anything else. I'm gonna call it quits right here because I am tired, bro. I am just very tired at this point. So, yeah. Uh, on one last cut, and that's it. This one, the attack that freezes the ocean. It's 319-1. I save it. And that's it. That's all Kizaru does. He does an ice age and then he lives. Okay. Okay, I think that's everything for me, guys. I honestly do not have any more energy. I am completely down. I think all this time I also had chat turned off, so there's also that. I really don't know how to put it back in, so and like, and for the next time maybe I will have chat on. But that's it. I do not have anything else to add to this commentary or whatever this was. I'll stop my transmission and I'll wish you have a good time. I'm getting closer there. I just need like 800 more chapters and I'll get there. So yeah, that's everything for me, guys. Have a good day. That's it.